left field wall or left to right. This feels more like a day early September.
Eshelman now behind Gonzalez 3-0 with Rusty Greer on deck. And there's a strike. And that's well hit toward the wall and left. Jefferson watches it go off the scoreboard. He leaves it for Tinsley to play. And the throw to second, not in time. Gonzalez just in ahead of the throw, head first. It's a double for Rene Gonzalez, his first of the year.
Nice job by Lee Tinsley playing this ball off the scoreboard at a very difficult angle. It looked like might have had an opportunity to throw Gonzalez out. He was a little bit slow rounding first base, but he'll beat the play with the head first slide. And at the corner of the scoreboard, kicking out towards center field, and Lee Tinsley waiting for it. Gonzalez will slide inside that bag and just avoid the tag by Jeff Fry.
Man in scoring position with one out for Rusty Greer. Greer's hitting .335 now. 5 home runs and 41 runs driven in. One ball and one strike. Greer's been batting third in the Texas order in the absence of Will Clark. He went on the disabled list just as the Rangers arrived in town on Thursday with a leg muscle pull. Greer had 4 hits yesterday. 4 of the 18 the Rangers piled on Red Sox pitching. Greer 4 for 5 yesterday to tie his career high in hits. 3rd time he's done it in his career. To left center and a long run for Tinsley. He dives and makes a terrific catch. And the throw to second for the easy double play as Gonzalez had rounded third base. Great play by Lee Tinsley to end the inning. After a half inning, no score on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Hey, it's autograph day at the racetrack. Come meet Ernie Irvan, Dale Jarrett, and Mark Martin.
Hey, Jack, where is everybody?
They'll be here soon.
Sorry, Jack. Everyone's at their Ford dealer's Winston Cup selling event, where they can get $1,000 total cash back on 96 Escort 3-doors.
Cappuccino, anybody?
$1,000 total cash back on Escort could mean no money down. Only at your New England Ford dealer.
Got any 7s? Go fish.
Gymnastics is the most beautiful and the most watched Olympic event because it has grace, has beauty, and incredible difficulty level performed by those athletes. In June, the best gymnast in America will be in Boston. This is where the U.S. Olympic team will be selected.
Call Ticketmaster at 617-931-2000.
Before you watch the Olympic Games on TV, come and see the champions in person.
The Red Sox clubhouse has the gear of the pros, the exact same gear, the same new era cap, the same Russell jersey. The Red Sox clubhouse has the absolute best selection of Red Sox products in the area. And if you want another team, we have it, or can get it guaranteed. Play Brushback to win and get up to 50% off Major League merchandise. Ask for details at the Red Sox clubhouse shop.
Red Sox lineup brought to you by the new Dodge has Jeff Fry leading off, and playing second base. John Valentin is at shortstop. Mo Vaughn is the first baseman batting third. Cleanup hitter DH Jose Canseco with Reggie Jefferson in left field and Mike Stanley behind the plate. Troy O'Leary is in right field. The center fielder Lee Tinsley hits 8th, and third baseman Bill Selby bats 9th against Ken Hill.
Kenny Hill making start number 15, 7-5 on the season, 3.65 ERA. That's 4th best in the American League. 72 strikeouts is 8th in the league. That's in 98 2/3 innings, and he is trying to break up a 2-game losing streak. Both losses to the Milwaukee Brewers and Ben McDonald.
His last start was his shortest of the season. He lasted only 3 2/3 innings against Milwaukee on Tuesday in Arlington. Gave up 9 runs on 8 hits and 3 walks in that game. His first pitch, a strike, a fastball to Jeff Fry. No score after a half inning thanks to a great catch by Lee Tinsley. It started a double play which ended the top of the first. And Fry is quickly in the hole after a couple of fastballs. 0-2. Jeff with a .297 batting average, 11 for 37, but he's also walked 11 times in 10 games. Has an excellent on-base percentage, .469, as the Red Sox leadoff man.
Kenny Hill 1-0 against the Red Sox this year. He beat him on opening day, beat Roger Clemens in that game. Tim Nehring touched him up for a home run late in the game.
That was in Hill's first start for the Rangers. Fry at a ground ball to second, and Gonzalez went to Tettleton for the out.
Lee Tinsley setting the tone defensively in this game. Looked like he might have left his feet a little bit too soon, but is able to cover an awful lot of ground. Hold the ball in the glove while he hits the ground, and then throw to Jeff Fry at second base with a double play. Gonzalez was around third base. He figured no outfielder had a chance to make a play on that.
Well, we're seeing the difference having a dependable center fielder and second baseman can make. Well, the Red Sox team defense as a whole. Fry's been pretty solid at second base. Certainly has adjusted well to John Valentin. They've become a smooth double play combination. Valentin up there with a count of 1-1 now. John to 283, 7 homers, 31 runs batted in. Still bothered by a sore shoulder, an injury suffered back in late May when the Red Sox were in Anaheim on the last West Coast trip. Hurt himself diving for a ball up the middle and hasn't been comfortable since. The 2-1 pitch. Another ground ball to Gonzalez at second. And quickly 2 down. Texas is 6th in the American League in team defense. They've made only 43 errors in 67 games. They have Rusty Greer in left, Damon Buford in center, Warren Newson in right, Dean Palmer the third baseman, Kevin Elster at short, Rene Gonzalez at second base, Mickey Tettleton at first, and with Pudge Rodriguez getting an afternoon off, Dave Valley, the former Red Sox catcher, is behind the plate. Mo Vaughn, the hitter. Fastball for a strike. Mo's at .354, 23 homers, 67 runs batted in. He's 5th in the American League in batting. Roberto Alomar leads the league at .390. Mo's 2nd in homers and runs batted in. Trails Albert Bell by 2 in the race for the home run title, and trails Frank Thomas by 3 in runs batted in. Mo had the game-winning home run here Friday night, had 2 more hits yesterday, including an RBI double. When do you think they'll get around to dealing with the Albert Bell matter once and for all? He's having the longest hearing and consideration any player in that type of episode in recent memory.
You'd have to think that they'd come down to a decision probably on tomorrow. I mean, he's been in there for a couple of days pleading his case. And hopefully if it's down to 3 games, it'll be against the Red Sox as we open up that series in Cleveland. That seems to be the way they're leaning now, going from the 5 games down to the 3 games. I guess everybody's involved in that. The Players Association.
Well, what he did probably is worthy of about 3 games. It seemed like he got the stiffer sentence because of his history of disciplinary problems. But you're right. It seems like everybody's involved. The Cleveland ownership and management, Players Association, Gene Budig, president of the American League. A lot of input in this hearing. And of course, Fernando Vina, the player who took the hit up high, the forearm from Albert Bell, still miffed at the Players Association. It does appear in that case the Players Association took the side of the higher salaried player, the star player, rather than the everyday kind of guy. And Fernando Venez. Vaughn walked on a very careful 3-2 pitch thrown to him by Ken Hill.
I think besides the episode of knocking down the second baseman with the forearm shiver, also when the fight broke out, Bell came running in from left field, and he was knocking guys over left and right, trying to get in the middle of that pile. So I don't see anything wrong with the 5 games, especially when we're headed toward town.
That's right. Red Sox could well miss seeing Albert Bell as they head to Cleveland after today's game. After an off day tomorrow, they'll begin a series in Jacobs Field Tuesday night. Right here on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network. Jose Canseco checked his swing and took a fastball for a strike. First pitch fastballs from Hill here in the first inning. Canseco batting .276. He was talking over the last day or two about the fact that he's in a home run groove. Jose's hit safely in 5 straight games. He's up to 20 home runs now for the year. 9th time in his career he's hit 20 or more in a season. And he has hit 17 home runs in his last 127 at bats. Jose says last year he's hitting too many line drives. This year he has more of the fly ball stroke. And he says if you're a power hitter, right-handed hitter who can pull the ball, you're nuts to try to hit the ball to all fields here. And there's a deep fly to left, and that home run groove continues. That's over everything in left field. Number 21 for Canseco, a 2-run homer, and the Red Sox are out to a quick 2-0 lead.
It is only the 6th home run that Ken Hill has given up this season, and it's on an 0-2 count to Canseco. Valley set up outside, but the pitch tails right back into Canseco's power, and this is a line shot into the net in left field. 21 home runs now, quickly closing the gap between he and Albert Bell, who leads the league with 25.
And Albert likely to be sitting down for at least 3 games sometime in the next few months when they finally do hand down his suspension. Jefferson takes the ball low. Well, as Jerry mentioned, Ken Hill doesn't give up many home runs. As a matter of fact, he entered today's game with the best ratio among pitchers in terms of innings pitched per home runs allowed. He'd only given up one every 19.7 innings. But he has been taken deep by Canseco here in the first, and the Red Sox lead 2-0. Now the 2-0 to Jefferson, inside and low. Now that's ball 4 low. So Hill retired the first 2 batters easily on ground balls to second, but then he walked Mo Vaughn, pitching carefully to him on a 3-2 pitch. Canseco hit a 2-run homer, and now Jefferson has walked. And Johnny Oates is watching his starter work to the 6th batter of the first inning, Mike Stanley. Mike homered yesterday off Kevin Gross, his 9th of the year. He's now hitting .270, 33 runs batted in. The home run by Canseco, his first ever against Ken Hill. Of course, Jose hasn't had many at-bats against Hill, who has spent much of his career in the National League. Jose now 2 for 8 lifetime against Hill with the home run.
The guy that's hit Hill the best in the Red Sox lineup, Mo Vaughn, 4 for 7 against Hill.
And that is now 7 straight balls thrown by Hill since the home run by Canseco. 3-0 on Stanley.
And he'll probably have the green light. Most Red Sox hitters who have the ability to hit home runs, Kennedy has been giving them the green light on the 3-0 count.
And Stanley has homered in the last 2 games. He hit one Friday night off Bobby Witt. Good pitch. Fastball around the knees. And now it's 3-2.
Two nasty pitches there by Hill with the fastball. 3-0 fastball on the outside corner, and again the 3-1 fastball. Just about unhittable, so you might as well take it.
And Stanley will hope when he's working behind the plate, Eshelman will get that kind of call on a close pitch. Jefferson runs on the 3-2, and Hill came back from the 3-0 count to strike out Stanley to end the inning. First strikeout for Hill, but the Red Sox have taken a 2-0 lead on a home run by Canseco. 2-0 Boston on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
With everything you can get on an award-winning Nissan Maxima, leasing one may seem very attractive. For a limited time, we're making it beautiful. Lease a Maxima GXE with automatic transmission for 0 down and $329 a month for 39 months.
There's only one denture cleanser with Listerine ingredients, Efferdent Plus, to fight denture odor. It kills 99.9% of the germs that cause denture odor, so you can get this close. Efferdent Plus. Kill the germs, kill the odor.
To stop itch, get Benadryl cream. It stops itch on the skin surface, and only Benadryl penetrates to block histamines that trigger itch. Stop itch where it starts. Benadryl cream blocks histamines hydrocortisone can't.
Look what my bank sent me. What? A check card. Looks more like an ATM card with a Visa logo on it. It says here it works just like an ATM card, only better. How better? I'm getting to that part. It says I can still use it to get cash, plus I can buy anything I want anywhere that takes Visa. You don't say. I just did. And then the money comes out of my checking account just like a check. Your checking account? Yeah. Mind if I borrow it? Yes, I do, you old fool.
The Visa check card, the card that works like a check.
I wouldn't let you borrow my shoes.
Red Sox have a 2-0 lead thanks to Jose Canseco as we move to the top of the second inning. Fort Myers, Florida, the spring training home of the Boston Red Sox. It's also a great tropical vacation destination offering golf, beaches, fishing, and attractions like the Children's Hands-On Museum and Aquarium. If you're looking for a getaway this summer or fall, visit Fort Myers. For more information, call 1-800-366-3622.
Well, terrific start to this game for the Red Sox. Lee Tinsley, a fine defensive play to start a double play in the top of the first, and then Jose Canseco with another home run in the bottom of the first, and the Red Sox are out to a 2-0 lead after an inning. Here's Juan Gonzalez batting .301. He sends that toward the gap in right center. Long run for Tinsley the other way, and that time he can't get it. Troy O'Leary plays it, and Gonzalez has a leadoff double on the first pitch of the inning, thrown by Eshelman. Both Texas hits have been doubles.
7 straight games now for Juan Gonzalez. In those 7 games, hitting at a .385 clip. Opposite field stroke here, and of course playing him slightly to pull, so no way Tinsley could catch up to it. Gonzalez with the leadoff double.
That 7-game hitting streak matches his longest of the year now. He's also hit in 12 of his last 13 to get his average up over the 300 mark. Breaking ball went around the outside part of the plate to Mickey Tettleton. Switch hitter batting .268 overall, .317 right-handed. Only 3 of his 13 home runs have come from the right. Borderline strike. 1-1 on Tettleton. He's put together a 4-game hitting streak with 3 homers in the last 4 games, including a home run in the first inning yesterday. That got the Rangers off and running on their way to the big win. It was the first home run that Tettleton had hit on the road since April 26th in Baltimore. Month and a half between road homers.
Yeah, Mickey Tettleton almost an identical stance, left-handed and right-handed. Very thick with the pine tar, maybe a little bit higher than that 18 inches that's allowed, but
and there's ball 4, so Tettleton walks. First thrown by Eshelman. Not a surprise it would go to Tettleton, annually among the league leaders in walks drawn.
Third baseman, Dean Palmer.
Tettleton has walked 49 times this year now. That's 4th in the American League. Dean Palmer, the batter, leading power hitter on the Rangers this year. With his 15 homers, 51 runs batted in to go with the .276 average. Red Sox lead 2-0, but the Rangers have first and second and nobody out.
this is where Eshelman in his last couple of outings, when he's had some difficulties, been able to make the pitch, get the ground ball for a double play to get out of trouble. This Texas club has been tough on lefties. They are 12-4 so far this season against left-handed starting pitches.
Gonzalez the runner at second, Tettleton at first. 1-0 the count on Palmer. Foul ball off to our right. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's foul down the left field line, hooking into the stands. Good crowd here today. Certainly not a sellout. Many empty seats in the bleachers. And if you're in the neighborhood, this would be a great place to be on Father's Day. Absolutely perfect day. Any outdoor activity would be a great idea today. Of course, don't go far from the TV set. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Not at least till 4 or 5 o'clock anyway.
Feel free to do what you want later in the afternoon. Ball 3, full count. Warren Newson, who had 2 home runs yesterday, is on deck. Runners are not going on a 3-2 pitch. Fouled out of play. Palmer does strike out a lot. Gives you a lot of homers and runs batted in, but he'll also whiff regularly. He's fanned 67 times. Only Carlos Delgado of Toronto is fanned more often in the American League. He's struck out 70 times. 3-2 on the ground past the diving Selby, who was playing close to the line. A base hit to left. Nobody out. Jerry Narron holds Juan Gonzalez at third. And Texas has loaded the bases with nobody out. A double, a walk, now a single by Palmer. And they're loaded up for Warren Newson. As we mentioned a couple of times, he hit 2 home runs yesterday. First over the Red Sox bullpen. And the second to the opposite field. Up into the screen off Tim Wakefield. Warren was 4 for 5 yesterday, including those 2 home runs. 4 hits in a game, a career best. 2 homers in a game, also a single game best for Newson. Raised his average up to 292. And he'll wait as Sammy Ellis, the Red Sox pitching coach, goes to the mound.
That's with Darrell Hamilton right now with a groin injury and not able to play in the last couple of games of this series. Damon Buford and Newsom both in the lineup this afternoon. Certainly career afternoon yesterday for Warren Newsom. Home run, a couple more hits, 2 home runs I should say. And a chance here to do more damage, although career with the bases loaded. If he gets a hit, it'll be his first one.
0 for 14 with the bases loaded in his career. Sooner or later he's going to get a hit. Eshelman hopes it's not now. Red Sox lead 2-0 in the second, but they are clinging to that lead at the moment with the bases loaded and nobody out. And the 1-0 sweeping breaking ball that just missed.
Now you take the advantage away, lefty against lefty with the 2-0 count.
Out of play to the left. Over the roof. Out on a Yawkey Way. Eshelman began the season on the disabled list. Burns on his fingers. Injury suffered in the hotel during spring training. 2-2. Vaughn was in extended spring training in Florida in April, then began a rehab in Pawtucket in mid-April. The 2-2 pitch. He struck him out. Eshelman fell behind to the count 2-0. And then threw 3 straight strikes to Newsom for the first out of the inning. And that's the first strikeout of the afternoon for Eshelman.
Newsom missed his chance on the 2-0 count. That's when he could really narrow his strike zone down, look for a pitch to drive, and he ended up fouling it off and bouncing right back as Eshelman to pick up a big strikeout with the bases loaded. So he remains hitless in bases loaded situations.
Now Eshelman looking in at Dave Valley, the number 8 hitter. Texas catcher today takes the looping breaking ball for strike 1. Valley is appearing in his 20th game as the backup to Ivan Rodriguez. He's at .265 with 9 hits in 34 at bats without a home run. He has driven in 4. In on the hands and fouled away, and Vaughn's quickly ahead of Valley 0-2. All of the Ranger hitters today getting their first look ever at Vaughn Eshelman. None of these Texas hitters has faced Eshelman in the past. 0-2. Chopped foul off first. Once Eshelman completed that rehab stint down in Pawtucket, he was reinstated from the disabled list, then optioned down to Pawtucket the end of April, and was recalled to the Red Sox on May 21st. There's a line drive and a base hit to the left, and it will tie the game. Gonzalez has scored, and Tettleton's right behind, and it's 2-2. Dave Valley on an 0-2 pitch, singles into the left field corner, and picks up his 5th and 6th run batted in of the year.
He's left the slider right out over the heart of the plate on the 0-2 count. Wanted to go down and in, but watch location right over the middle of the plate, and Dave Valley will certainly jump all over that to drive in a couple of runs. So both pitches have been hurt in this game on the 0-2 count. Kenny Hill 0-2 on Canseco for the home run, and now Eshelman 0-2 on Valley. He'll drive in a couple of runs.
Now Kevin Elster. He took ball 1 low. 2 runs, 4 hits for Texas. 3 of those hits here in the second. 2 runs, 1 hit, the Canseco 2-run homer for Boston. Off speed and low again. 2-0 on Elster, who's starting to pick it back up after a lengthy slump. His average at .254. 11 homers, a career high. 45 runs batted in. 3-0 now. 11 homers, the career high. 45 runs batted in. Not yet a career high for Elster. He knocked in 55 in 1989, and he walks on 4 pitches. Now Eshelman, with such an outstanding start Tuesday in Chicago, is really struggling here in the second inning this afternoon.
Be interested to see who Kennedy calls upon to get some long relief if needed this afternoon. Jamie Moy yesterday with 4 1/3 innings in that ball game, and he's usually the guy that Kennedy will go to.
There's a strike to Damon Buford, up for the second time in as many innings. Now the go-ahead run is at third for Texas. Buford hit a little pop-up behind second that was caught by John Valentin last inning. Out of play to the right, 0-2. Buford has good speed. He'd be a tough man to double up. The 0-2 pitch. He struck him out. Buford chased the fastball up and away. Second strikeout for Eshelman in the inning. And the bases remain loaded with 2 down.
Strange inning for Vaughn Eshelman. I mean, he'll quickly fall behind some hitters. 2 balls, 3 balls, no strikes, and then got ahead here of Buford. Then didn't have to throw a ball in the strike zone, up and away to pick up his second strikeout of the inning.
Rene Gonzalez doubled off the scoreboard in left center last inning. Was doubled off when Tinsley made the great catch on the ball hit by Greer. That's to right and right at O'Leary, and that ends the inning. The Rangers get 2, but they leave the bases loaded after an inning and a half. 2-2 the score. We'll be right back after these words from your local sponsors along the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Around here, people know it takes more than just luck to get by. What really matters is how hard you can work, how tough and reliable you are, whether you'll be there day after day, on job after job. That's what Chevy people and tough Chevy trucks are all about. Find out for yourself by taking a test drive.
I need a truck I can depend on.
Maine and New Hampshire is Chevy country.
At the Mallside Discount Outlet, we've got the right tools for any job. We've also got the biggest selection of tarps in sizes from 5x7 to 50x100. If you need rope, we've got that too. These items are also available at G&M Variety on the Bar Harbor Road in East Holden, across from Dorsey's. At G&M, you'll also find our new 1, 2, 3 section, where items marked with colorful stickers are either $1, $2, or $3 for rope, tools, or tarps. Visit Mallside Discount Outlet in Bangor or G&M Variety in East Holden.
You can see that these Kubota M-Series utility tractors have been redesigned from the ground up, but you need to put one to work to know how their innovative design produces such power and durability and operator comfort. Visit Doors Equipment for a hands-on demonstration. You'll be convinced that Kubota's M-Series utility tractors are built to work and built to last. Ask Doors Equipment, Outer Hammond Street, Bangor, to help you put one to work.
2-2 the score after an inning and a half on Father's Day at Fenway Park. Red Sox, with their 28-38 record, still in third place in the American League East, 10 games behind the New York Yankees, who, like the Red Sox, lost yesterday. The Orioles also lost in Kansas City last night. They remain 2 games out. In the American League Central, it's Cleveland by a game and a half over Chicago. Minnesota has lost 4 in a row. And in the West, these Texas Rangers have a 5-game lead over Seattle. California is trying to climb back into it. The Angels have won 7 straight. Troy O'Leary is swing and a miss for strike 1 on the first pitch of the second, thrown by Ken Hill. Troy batting .266, 8 home runs, 34 runs batted in. Quickly 0-2 on O'Leary. The Red Sox have the bottom third of their order coming up. O'Leary, Lee Tinsley, and Bill Selby. Troy with 4 hits in the series. He had an 0 for 4 yesterday. That's down the first base line to Tettleton. 1 out.
Number 47, center fielder, Lee Tinsley.
And a nice hand to Lee Tinsley as he steps in. He made a terrific defensive play in the first inning. A diving catch on a ball hit by Rusty Greer, which he turned into a double play. He doubled Gonzalez off second base. Rene Gonzalez, that is. Tinsley at 240. He has started all 7 games in center field since coming back to the Red Sox in the trade with Philadelphia 1 week ago today. Down to third. Palmer was playing in on the edge of the grass. 2 down.
Kenny Hill looks like he has good stuff in this game, even though he made that one mistake to Jose Canseco. A good live fastball, a tight slider that he's been throwing and keeping the ball down for the most part. He was outstanding in that opening day effort against the Red Sox. Down in Arlington.
Almost pitched a complete game on opening day. Left after Tim Nearing homered with 2 outs in the 9th. Ed Vosberg came in to record the final out for a save on April 1st at the ballpark in Arlington, as Texas won 5-3. Bill Selby, the batter. 1-1 the count. Bill 2 for 11 in the series, hitting .292 overall. That game, looking back, set the tone for the kind of season Roger Clemens has had. It was the first of many examples. The game in which he pitched well enough to win but did not.
Kind of set the tone the way both clubs have gone about their season too. Texas Rangers jumping out quickly and the Red Sox struggling since opening day.
Chop foul still. 2-2 on Selby. 2 outs and the base is empty. 2-2 the score in the second. Hill signed by the Rangers as a free agent on December 22nd. Brought in by the Rangers with the thought in mind that he would be their #1 starter. Selby to left, and Greer has room right in front of the track. The Red Sox go in order in the second. After 2 at Fenway, 2-2 the score on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Around here, this is where you drive, and this is where you save. It's the Chrysler and Plymouth Summer Getaway. Big savings so you can get away with this great low monthly lease on Plymouth Neon. Or drive off with $1,000 cash back. Or take the low 1.9% financing. Now is the time to save on Plymouth Neon at the big Summer Getaway. If you want to see what's new at Chrysler and Plymouth, we'll show you what's new.
How have HQ's low prices affected you?
Well, when I went there to remodel the kitchen, I saved so much money that I could afford to remodel the bathroom, and I saved so much I could afford to remodel the den. And I'm only house sitting.
HQ prices are too low to resist, like a 10-inch flowering hanging basket for a low $5.46 and large marble chips an amazing $2.25.
Used to be a split level.
HQ, the low price keeps you coming back.
Bacteria that cause infection can live almost anywhere.
Ow!
That's why every cut needs Neosporin. At the microscopic level, Neosporin kills a broad spectrum of hundreds of bacterial strains, more than many other topical antibiotics. Also, adding Neosporin to a bandage helps cuts heal 4 days faster than a bandage alone. Help end the threat of infection. Heal cuts faster with Neosporin. And for painful cuts, try Maximum Strength Neosporin Plus.
Closed captioning for today's game provided by Ocean Spray. Ocean Spray. Crave the wave.
2-2 as we head to the third. We remind you that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox and WABU TV Channel 68. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox. and WABU TV. 2 runs, 4 hits for Texas, 2 runs, 1 hit for the Red Sox through 2 innings. Von Eshelman to Rusty Greer. Strike 1. Greer hit a sinking line drive into left center that was caught on a diving catch by Lee Tinsley. A tremendous play. Turned it into a double play when he came up throwing. Doubled Rene Gonzalez off second base. 0-2 now on Greer. Eshelman struggled in the second. He threw 30 pitches last inning. And did well to get out of the inning, allowing just the 2 runs as the Rangers had 3 hits and there were 2 walks in the inning, but they left the bases loaded. Greer, Juan Gonzalez, and Mickey Tettleton coming up. Eshelman dropped down a bit and Greer chopped it foul.
Different look that time from Vaughn Eshelman, dropping down to the side against the left-handed hitter. Ideally, you want that ball outside. You're hoping for a little bit of a bail from the hitter, and if you leave it inside, that really works into his wheelhouse.
Down to first, a tough play. Nice backhand by Vaughn, and the Red Sox execute 3-1. Vaughn Eshelman covering, and Mo Vaughn making the toughest part of the play. Outstanding backhand stop, and then the throw right on the money.
Has been mentioned about the bad finger for Mo Vaughn on his right hand, and it certainly has to affect at times his throwing ability. Gets himself planted nicely there, leads Eshelman to the bag, and then he has time to catch the ball, pick up the bag, and make the tag.
Juan Gonzalez takes ball 1 up and away. He doubled to right center leading off last inning on the first pitch of the inning, and he scored the first of the 2 runs. 2-2 the score in the 3rd. Final game of this 4-game series. Red Sox trying to make it 3 out of 4. And finish the week at 5-2 against Chicago and Texas. 2 of the best teams in the American League. Very high pop-up in the direction of Mo Vaughn. 2 outs.
Mo Vaughn, I think, would like to maybe DH in a couple of games because of the finger problem, but of course with Canseco unable to play in the outfield makes it just about impossible. Tough sky this afternoon, not too many clouds to help out. Got the sunglasses down. You got to use the glove for some protection. The longer they stay up there, you start to get those dots in your eyes, and they all look like baseball.
Then you have to pick the right one. Mickey Tettleton walked and scored last inning. Eshelman could use an easy inning after the 30-pitched second. Two-0 now on Tettleton.
Stanley completely lost that fastball in the center field bleachers. They're very tough with left-handed pitchers on day games here at Fenway.
Many times with a left-hander out there, that ball's coming right out of the brightly colored shirts in the center field bleachers that provide the backdrop for the hitter. A lot of shirts off in the bleachers today on this beautiful mid-June afternoon. The 3-2 to Tettleton. He struck him out. 0-2-3 inning for Von Eshelman. He is now fan 3. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. 2-2 the score on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Dodge Ram is #1 in resale versus Ford, Chevy, and GMC. #1 in horsepower. #1 in torque. Even #1 in payload and overall power. In fact, Dodge Ram is #1 in more categories than any full-size pickup. So it should come as no surprise that across America, Dodge pickups are #1 in sales growth.
See your friendly New England Dodge dealer today.
Hey, how about a little reward?
A dozen roses.
A brownie filled with fudge.
A brownie.
Introducing Sweet Rewards Double Fudge Brownies.
Ooh, did you say double fudge?
Yep, surrounded by a dark, moist brownie.
Pardon me for drooling.
Go ahead. They're fat-free.
Get out.
New Sweet Rewards Double Fudge Brownies from Betty Crocker. Only Betty could make fat-free this rewarding.
You know, forget the flowers. I'll take a dozen of these.
Spend your summer at friendly Fenway Park and root for the Red Sox. Mike Stanley is behind the plate for Rocket Roger Clemens and closer Heathcliff Slocum. Mo Vaughn and Jose Canseco lead the exciting Red Sox offense. Come to Fenway and witness the Red Sox power. Don't be left out. Help cheer the Red Sox to victory. To purchase tickets, call the Red Sox ticket office at 617-267-1700. Or for groups of 40 or more, call the group sales office at 617-262-1915.
2-2 the score as we head to the bottom of the third here at Fenway. In the National League East, Montreal is putting it back together again after a momentary downturn. The Expos have won 4 in a row. They're back to within 3 of Atlanta. In the National League Central, Houston a game over 500 with a game-and-a-half lead over St. Louis. The Pirates only 2 out. And out west, Colorado, the team making the move. The Rockies have won 5 in a row to get back within a game-and-a-half of San Diego. Ken Hill's first pitch of the third, a ball to Jeff Fry. Red Sox have the top of their order. Up against Hill in the third. Fry led off the Boston first by grounding out to second. Fastball for a strike. Jeff will be followed by John Valentin and Mo Vaughn. Against Hill, who's retired 4 in a row. One ball and 2 strikes on Fry. He's only struck out once in 38 at-bats since joining the Red Sox.
He's been able to handle some nasty pitches too when he's been down a couple of strikes in the count, and flicks the bat at the ball, tries to make contact, stay alive, and on many occasions been able to pick up a base hit with it.
Check swing and a foul ball.
Had a good series against his former team, and I'm sure that has to make him feel pretty good.
He's had 6 hits in the series. 6 for 14 now. And he's worked the count to 3-2. Close pitch, fastball. Hill wanted it, didn't get the call, and Fry has walked again for the 12th time in 11 games. Johnny Oates shaking his head. I think he was in agreement with Ken Hill that should have been called strike 3.
I think Jeff Fry very fortunate to be making his way down the first base on this pitch. I don't know if it was called for being inside or too low, but from that camera there, that's a pretty good pitch. Johnny Oates still staring out at Brian O'Nora.
John Valentin takes the ball. He bounced to second in the first. John Oates doesn't miss much. He was talking after the game yesterday. The Red Sox had a couple of players who were on the disabled list who left the dugout to take part in the melee in the 9th inning. Apparently he was referring to Milt Tyler and Mike Maddox. Players on the disabled list aren't supposed to do that. Fry takes off, and that's a fly ball to right. Newsom the catch. Fry retreats to first with 1 out.
There was a time, Sean, when managers when they exchanged lineup cards at home plate, would have to ask permission of the other manager if those guys could stand the bench during the game. And of course, almost all the time they would say yes. I don't know if they still have to do that, but they are not allowed in the field if anything happens. They have to supposed to stay in the dugout or in the clubhouse.
One out, a runner at first in a 2-2 game in the home half of the third. Mo Vaughn walked and scored on the Canseco 2-run homer in the first. The ball low. And the ball up and away. Jerry mentioned during Mo's first at bat that Mo's 4 for 7 in his career against Ken Hill, and Ken Hill is pitching, it seems, with great awareness of those numbers. There's a good pitch. 2-1. Let's pause now for station identification on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network. Sean McDonough, Jerry Remy at Fenway Park. 2-2 the score in the third. Pitch inside. They wanted an appeal. Dave Phillips said no swing. Now 3-1 with Jose Canseco looming in the on-deck circle. Jeff Fry, the runner at first. Base hit left field. Mo went to the opposite field with a 3-1 pitch. And the Red Sox have 2 men on with 1 out, and here comes Jose.
An idea, though, how hard Hill is throwing in this game, because it's a 3-1 count, opposite field. Here's a look at the Canseco home run that gave the first 2 runs of the afternoon to the Red Sox. That was up and over the screen and that parking lot across the street.
They reacted quickly over there. The race for the souvenir into the parking lot across the street. Canseco's 21st home run. He's now knocked in 47 runs this year. And Hill started him with a nasty pitch. Looked like a slider on the outside corner. Base hit by Vaughn, just the second Red Sox hit. Texas is out hitting Boston 4-2. 2 men on and 1 out in the Red Sox third. That's pulled foul. Sounded like a broken bat. And it is.
An idea, though, how quick the bat is of Jose Canseco. That was a hard inside fastball. Still, he was able to pretty much get the head of the bat out and pull it hard foul. They've been trying to pitch Canseco in for most of this series.
Now you can see the expression Jose was wearing after he broke the bat. Obviously he hit a home run with that bat last time up, and he didn't seem all that excited about having to go to a new weapon. This is a totally different looking bat. The other one had a dark barrel.
Players will generally bring down 3 or 4 extra bats with them in the course of a game. Their game bat, obviously, and their backups. And they have a preference on which one they'd like to see that bat boy pick out of the bat rack on a crack bat.
Now the 0-2 pitch. That's off the end of the bat. Nice play made in the front row. Just to the first base side of the screen. Ken Hill's 30 years old, Lynn, Massachusetts native, out of Lynn Classical High School. Pitched 2 seasons at North Adams State College here in Massachusetts. Line drive and a base hit. Just out of the reach of Elster. Fry was retreating back to second, thinking that might be caught. So he'll advance only to third. And Canseco is 2 for 2 today, and the Red Sox have loaded the bases with 1 out.
So again, Canseco hitting a pretty good pitch here. A slider from Hill away from him, able to make the contact, hit the line drive. Fry was certainly doing the right thing. On that line drive, you want to make sure it's not caught, and you don't want to be doubled up at second base. Heading back to the bag. Of course, when that happens, no way he can score on the base hit by Canseco.
The Red Sox with a chance to take the lead. Excellent opportunity with Reggie Jefferson up there. Reggie walked in the first, right after the home run by Canseco. It's a chopper to second. Gonzalez to Elster. No chance to double up Jefferson, on a ball slowly hit. And Fry scores to give the Red Sox a 3-2 lead. Reggie Jefferson with an RBI, his 15th of the season.
Well, if Elster may have given up on this double play just a bit too soon. I think a throw at first base may have been a little bit closer than he anticipated. Gonzalez making the feed. Elster's going to quickly spin around and look to third to see if they can catch Vaughn going around the bag. That's not going to happen, but no double play. Red Sox pick up a run.
There might be a lack of familiarity on the part of Elster with Jefferson's speed, or lack thereof, because you're right. It certainly would have been a close play at first. Reggie very well might have beaten the throw, but for Kevin Elster, it was probably worth trying.
It looks like he didn't even take a look at first base. Just immediately spun around and took a peek at Vaughn at third base.
Mike Stanley, the batter. 2-0 the count. Stanley struck out swinging last inning, or rather in the first inning, to end that inning. That's the only strikeout for Ken Hill to this point. Hill, as we mentioned earlier, struggled in his last 2 outings, and as a result, he did not throw at all between his last start on Tuesday and today's start against the Red Sox. No throwing on the side in between. He's had an up and down start this afternoon. A strong 1-2-3 second inning, but trouble in the first and third. 3 balls and a strike now on Stanley.
Pitchers like Kenny Hill get racked up early in the game and have an early exit. They can't wait to get back on the mound for their next start. And those 4 days between starts seem to take forever.
Stanley batting with first and third and 2 outs. Vaughn at third and Jefferson at first. And Stanley hits it to straightaway center. Buford the catch, and that ends the inning. The Red Sox pick up a run in the third. They lead 3-2 after 3 on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
With everything you can get on an award-winning Nissan Maxima, leasing one may seem very attractive. For a limited time, we're making it beautiful. Lease a Maxima GXE with automatic transmission for 0 down and $329 a month for 39 months.
I don't know, but it's been said athlete's foot's as good as dead. Mighty Mike. Not cooling action. Mighty Mike. Axe on contact, this I know, 'cause that tingle tells me so. Mighty Mike. New Mighty Mike. Stops the itch and cools the burn. Penetrates to kill the germ. Athlete's foot, don't let it win. Stamp it out with Mica 10.
It's what you won't see with Lubriderm gel cream that makes it different. No greasy smudges, no messy fingerprints. Because this cream helps protect from dryness without leaving behind a greasy feeling. Later, Gator.
To a kid with allergies, an ordinary yard can be a scary place. That's why there's Benadryl, the histamine blocker. It blocks histamines to relieve allergy symptoms. Great tasting Benadryl chewables and liquids gets kids out where they want to be.
Red Sox have a 3-2 lead as we move to the top of the 4th inning on a beautiful day here at Fenway Park. Here's a great idea for teachers and parents. Plan a field trip to friendly Fenway for behind-the-scenes tour. Get an up-close look at the Green Monster and learn the history of a baseball institution. Sit in the Red Sox dugout like Mo Vaughn and Roger Clemens. Tours run Monday through Friday at 10, 11, 12, and 1. There is a 2 o'clock tour on non-game days. For more information and group reservations, call 617-236-6666.
This is WABI-TV Channel 5, Eastern and Central Maine's home for Boston Red Sox baseball.
As we go to the 4th, and the first pitch of the inning, a ball to Dean Palmer. Palmer single to left in the 2nd against Von Eshelman, who's retired 5 in a row. It's not only Father's Day, but it is also the birthday of one of our favorite people, Ann Gigliotti, the wife of longtime Boston Herald baseball writer Joe Gigliotti. Another one of our favorite people. And we want to send along happy birthday wishes to Ann.
Happy birthday, Ann.
It's obvious Joe married a much younger woman.
Much more pleasant, too.
Fly ball to right, handled by O'Leary. 1 out.
Number 21, right fielder, Warren Mason.
I imagine there are quite a few dads in the audience today who are being treated to the ball game by a son or daughter. Warren Newson struck out swinging in the 2nd with the bases loaded. One and one the count. Newson will be followed by Dave Valley. Eshelman facing a very good Texas team offensively. They lead the American League in hits. They're 3rd in runs scored, 3rd in walks, 2nd in on-base percentage. Yesterday's game already the 12th time this year that Texas has scored 10 or more runs this season. That's 12 games out of 67 that they've had 10 or more runs. They've already had more 10-run games than they had all of last year. That's chopped to short. Bound and stayed down with it nicely. 2 outs. And 7 in a row set down by Eshelman.
Well, I think the difference for the Texas Rangers, like every team in baseball, will be their pitching. They are 3rd in the league with a team ERA of 4.62. And if they stay in that vicinity, then they'll be successful all through the season.
And obviously Ken Hill has been a big part of that pitching improvement. Lack of quality pitching has been the Texas problem for a very long time now. They usually put a very good fielding team in the field, and over the last many years they've had a very strong offensive club, but pitching hasn't been good enough to get them in a postseason. Dave Valley single to left to drive in both Texas runs with his bases loaded single in the 2nd. It's popped out of play to the right. Here's a look back at Valley's single that knocked in the 2 runs that have been scored by Texas in the game. Juan Gonzalez and Mickey Tettleton scoring on the bases loaded single.
Players should pay attention to the wind right now, because that ball almost came back to a spot where Mo Vaughn could make a play on it. Hit right on top of the Red Sox dugout.
And the breeze has changed since the start of the game. It was blowing straight in out of the east off the water. We've definitely noticed the difference up here. Our papers were rattling around. Now we don't have to worry about making sure everything's anchored. Oh, tantalizing off-speed pitch. Valley didn't like the call. He's called out on strikes. Another 1-2-3 inning for Eshelman. He's settling into a groove now. That's 8 in a row for Vaughn. He has struck out 4. We'll be right back after these words from your local sponsors along the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
The challenge of the great outdoors. Nothing has met it like Jeep Cherokee Sport. It comes with a 190 horsepower engine, available full-time 4-wheel drive, available 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, and driver's airbag. Now lease one for $0 down and $269 a month, including air at no charge. So get into the exciting Jeep Cherokee Sport and challenge the outdoors without challenging your budget.
See your New England Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Run deep between a father and his son, between the people and the land. The seasons come and go, but these bonds remain. Like the bonds between one special bank and the communities it served for more than 140 years. For banking the way it's meant to be, come to the source.
Red Sox getting ready to bat in the 4th, leading 3-2. It's time for the 68 Sports Watch and Win contest. George Goldsmith of Brighton, Massachusetts. If you are watching, you can win Baseball, a film by Ken Burns from Turner Home Entertainment. George, you have 68 minutes to call our 68 Sports Contest hotline at 617-782-6800. Friends, if you'd like to enter, send a postcard today with your name, address, and phone number to Watch and Win contest. Box 68, 1660 Soldiers Field Road, Boston 02135. Then watch and win on 68 Sports. So get on the phone, George. I don't think that's George. It's somebody with a WABU hat on. That's Peter Fiedler, our WABU staff. What do we have to do to get one of those hats? And on Father's Day, Peter has the family out here at the ballpark. Is Peter in charge of raises for the producers and directors? Is that why we've had a couple of shots of him? Oh, strictly for the ABU hat. Sort of tying everything together. Watch and win, 68 Sports, then the hat. We're making a film much like Ken Burns' wonderful baseball documentary ourselves with the pictures here today. O'Leary aboard on the leadoff walk. Hill has walked 4. 2 of the previous 3 walkers have scored. Lee Tinsley grounded to 3rd in the 2nd. Still looking for his first Red Sox RBI in Tour 2 of his time in Boston. He took a borderline strike outside part of the plate around the knees. Well, that's going to be a nice Father's Day present for George. We don't know if George is a dad or not in Brighton, but assuming he does his part, gets on the phone and calls in. It's a wonderful way to celebrate Father's Day with Ken Burns baseball. Tinsley tried to use the 9-iron on a pitch in the dirt and didn't get to it. 0-2.
It's again Kenny Hill going with that very tough slider down and in on those left-handed hitters. He can actually come with it again and doesn't have to even throw it close for a strike.
That's chop foul. And ricocheted up into the top part of the lower boxes. Yankees lead Cleveland this afternoon 2-0 after 2 innings at Yankee Stadium. New York has Andy Pettitte on the mound. He's really coming into his own as one of the best pitchers in the league. Pettitte 10-3 for New York and pitching with a 2-0 lead today. He's opposed by Dennis Martinez, who is 8-3. Pettitte with a chance to tie Charles Nagy of Cleveland for the league lead in wins. If he could win that ball game. Nagy got his league leading 11th yesterday against the Yankees. The 1-2 is outside. Couple of games underway in the National League. The Dodgers lead Atlanta 2-1 after 4. Mike Piazza has hit 2 home runs, both solo homers. Fred McGriff has homered, accounting for the Atlanta run. Tom Candiotti, the starter, against Jason Schmidt. Florida leads Pittsburgh 1-0 in the 3rd in Pittsburgh. That's off the glove of Hill, and Tinsley is safe at first. Big break for the Red Sox. Had Hill been able to snare it, or even if it had passed him by, it very well might have been a double play turned by Texas. Instead, it's a base hit. And the Red Sox have 2 men on and nobody out.
Trainer coming out to check on Hill. It looked like it deflected off his glove. That's exactly what happened. And you're right. If he makes that play, there's a pretty good chance they're going to turn that over for a double play, even with Tinsley's speed down that first baseline. I think the trainer may have thought that he went after that with his bare hand and quickly was out to check on Ken Hill, but it was off the glove. Big break there for the Red Sox. See if they have Selby now attempting the bunt to try to move a couple of men into scoring position.
Will fly to left in the second.
29, third baseman, Bill Selby.
Leslie Sterling, the public address announcer, introduced Selby right as Hill was about to start into his windup, and Hill stepped off and looked up at her as if to say, "What are you doing to me?"
It's almost like a tennis match, right?
That's right. And Selby does bunt, and that's a foul ball. Foul ball. Valley threw it away over the head of Palmer, but it's a foul ball. Home plate umpire Brian O'Nora very quickly made the call. Many of the fans did not realize it had been called a foul ball. But O'Nora did not hesitate in making the call. Here comes Kevin Kennedy out to argue the point.
See where the ball is. If it's on the left side of the line, it certainly is. And by that replay right there, he might get a better look from this angle. Definitely a foul ball.
Definitely a foul ball. And Brian O'Nora did not hesitate in making the call. I don't know what Kevin Kennedy's arguing about. And certainly Brian O'Nora had a much better view than did Kennedy.
Well, he wants to talk to Davey Phillips about it. Phillips is going to tell him it was at least a foot to the left of that line.
And it's also O'Nora's call. Anything between the plate and the bag down either line is the home plate umpire's call. Once it gets beyond the bag, it's the base umpire.
Managers will come out, though, and they'll say, "Can I have permission to talk to the third base umpire or the first base umpire about it?" And when they're 100% right, they'll say, "Sure, go ahead."
Kevin Kennedy doesn't argue very often, so I think the umpires appreciate his demeanor. Ball low, 1-1. Red Sox lead 3-2. And a chance to add that lead with 2 men on and nobody out in the bottom of the 4th. Again, Selby turns to bunt. He missed that one. Now a throw to second, and O'Leary's picked off. Well, Dave Valley is Ivan Rodriguez's backup, but today he's looking an awful lot like Ivan Rodriguez. He had the clutch 2-run hit rather, in the second inning for Texas, and now a la Rodriguez, he picks off a runner from second.
Not uncommon that this happens when that base runner at second base sees the batter attempt to bunt. He's trying to get a couple of extra steps toward third base, and of course that was a strike bunted through, and Valley will pick off O'Leary. Kennedy, you saw him going down the steps, I think upset about the fact that he was picked off, but also the fact that Selby couldn't get the ball down.
Pickoff play goes 2-6 on O'Leary at second. Now it's just a runner at first and one out. Tinsley is running, and the throw is not in time. So Lee Tinsley has a stolen base, his second in 7 games since rejoining the Red Sox.
Valley is now 2 for 12 attempting to throw out base stealers so far this season. Certainly not the same success as Ivan Rodriguez, who is out of the lineup this afternoon. You make a mistake, you get picked off quickly. Try to get a man in a scoring position, and that's what Tinsley did with the stolen base.
Now the 3-2 to Selby. Sounded like a broken bat bouncer to second. Rene Gonzalez to Mickey Tettleton for the out. Tinsley at third now with 2 down.
Big play in the inning, of course, to pick off a second. It takes you out of a potential big inning. First and second, nobody out. All of a sudden 2 outs and only the man at third base. Catchers love this play when they have that bunt on and that man at second base getting the big lead. They love to attempt to pick him off, and they valley. Pumped up about it.
Yeah. Threw him out and made the call. Now Jeff Fry trying to get the run in from third with 2 outs. He takes a fastball down the middle for a strike. Red Sox lead 3-2 in the 4th. The hits are even at 4 each. Neither team has made an error. Hill is working from the windup with the runner at third. Close pitch, call the ball. Fry walked and scored last inning. He grounded to second in the first. Broken bat. The one hopper to short. Elster to Tettleton. And a great chance to score goes by the boards for the Red Sox. After 4, it's the Red Sox 3 and the Rangers 2 on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
These help define a Consumer's Digest Best Buy and help explain why Dodge Caravan has been named a Best Buy 2 years in a row. These help define the Dodge Best Buy Celebration, and where you can get great deals on America's best-selling minivan, Dodge Caravan. Now with sliding doors available on both sides, even seats that roll in and out. The Dodge Best Buy Celebration.
See your friendly New England Dodge dealer today.
Opening everywhere.
Frosted Cheerios!
So sweet and crunchy, this box never closes.
So sweet and wholesome, and so few things are these days.
Those wholesome little O's have been frosted the whole way around for a crunchy, sweet taste everyone's into. Frosted Cheerios taste so good, this box never closes.
Now, for a limited time only, try new Team USA Cheerios with 3 different types of O's for a taste that stands alone.
It's what you won't see with Lubriderm gel cream that makes it different. No greasy smudges, no messy fingerprints. Because this cream helps protect from dryness without leaving behind a greasy feeling. Later, Gator.
To a kid with allergies, an ordinary yard can be a scary place. That's why there's Benadryl, the histamine blocker. It blocks histamines to relieve allergy symptoms. Great tasting Benadryl chewables and liquids gets kids out where they want to be.
This game summary is brought to you by your New England Ford dealers, home of 5 of the best-selling vehicles in America. Red Sox got off to a 2-0 lead in the first on Jose Canseco's 21st home run of the year. Rangers tied it in the second on a 2-run bases-loaded single by Dave Valley. Then the Red Sox loaded the bases and scored the go-ahead run in the third when Reggie Jefferson reached on a fielder's choice. Meanwhile, Von Eshelman, after a tough start to this game, settled into a nice groove. He's retired 8 in a row. Game summary brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. And the first pitch from Eshelman to Elster here in the 5th was a strike. The second a ball. Elster walked in the second. One of 2 walks given up by Vaughn Eshelman. Both were in the 2nd inning. It was the inning in which he really struggled. Faced 8 men in that inning, but he's retired every hitter since that walk to Elster in the 2nd.
Kevin Elster certainly has been a big surprise, a pleasant surprise for Johnny Oates. The 11 home runs, 45 RBI offensively, hitting out of the 9 spot, but very good defensively too. And with Benji Gill in the minor leagues.
And Elster has another hit. Came to town slumping, but he's had a good series. And the Rangers have the lead man on in the 5th, and that lead man, Elster, represents the tying run.
Mentioned talking about him yesterday. Benji Gill been having a very difficult time in the minor leagues, not hitting at all. Certainly Kevin Elster has hit, and he's hit all season long against the Boston Red Sox.
At the start of the year, Johnny Oates said it's Gill's job. When he's healthy, you don't lose your job due to injury. But with the performances Elster has turned in, Oates amended that as the season progressed. Said there's no way he could make a change and take Elster out with the job he's done at the plate and in the field. He's always been known as a good defensive shortstop. He's never hit very much. That's a well-hit ball by Buford to left, way back and gone. Into the screen, a 2-run homer. And another back-and-forth game here at Fenway between these 2 teams this afternoon. Buford's 2-run dinger gives Texas a 1-run lead at 4-3.
Only the 2nd home run on the season for Damon Buford. Picked on a curveball from Vaughn Eshelman. He'll go right down with it, and the uppercut swing will put it into the net. Quickly give the Texas Rangers a 4-3 lead. Eshelman just cruising right along until Kevin Elster got things started here in the 5th inning.
And now Rene Gonzalez sends one toward the wall in left center. That's off the wall above the pads. Gonzalez will hold it first. Tinsley played it well again. And Gonzalez is 2 for 3 with 2 hits off the wall. Just about the same spot. He doubled off the center field edge of the scoreboard in the 1st inning. And now has singled off the wall in left center here in the 5th. And with the 3 hits in a row to open the inning, bullpen action will begin for the Red Sox. Looked like Rich Garces was in search of his glove.
Things have happened so quickly here in the 5th inning. Almost not enough time to get on the phone and make that long distance call. Stanley out to talk to Eshelman, try to buy some time as Garces will get up and start the throw.
Damon Buford, the home run that has given Texas the lead. He's the son of Don Buford, former outfielder with the Orioles and the White Sox. Damon hasn't hit many. That's just his 8th major league home run. Rusty Greer was hit in some tough luck today. Had a hit taken away on a diving catch by Tinsley in the 1st. Then he had a smash down to 1st. Mo Vaughn made a nice backhanded play and threw to Eshelman to retire Greer in the 3rd. Just about everything's been going Rusty's way lately. 4 for 5 yesterday. 6 for 9 in the previous 2 games. And Greer will take his base at first, being hit by the pitch, apparently on the right hand or wrist. Danny Wheat, the trainer, out there.
Fastball up and in, and see the hand start to come through the zone and right off that right wrist or right finger. That certainly helped him check the swing, didn't it? This has come unglued in a hurry here for Vaughn Eshelman here in the 5th inning.
Sammy Ellis at the mound. Eshelman up to 80 pitches now. 30 of those were in the 2nd inning when he faced 8 men. This outing for Eshelman, much like his career in microcosm, some very impressive stints and
Number 19,
some periods of tremendous struggle. Two runs in, 2 men on, still nobody out here in the 5th inning for Texas. The Rangers have taken a 4-3 lead. They are now out hitting the Red Sox 7-4. Here's Juan Gonzalez, who doubled and scored in the 2nd. Popped out to Mo Vaughn in the 3rd. One ball, one strike. Mickey Tettleton is on deck.
I'm going to stick my neck out here, and I don't think that Gonzalez will be sacrificing in this situation. 1 for 5 yesterday in that ball game. 10 home runs on the season. Of course, missing quite a bit of time on the disabled list.
Off-speed pitch missed high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
That's exactly where Eshelman does not want to miss. High. He's going to miss. Wants to be down in the dirt.
Now 2-2.
Gonzalez expecting the fastball. Didn't get it. Got the big slow curveball from Vaughn, and way out on his front foot on that swing.
Up the middle, base hit. Rene Gonzalez will be waved around by Jerry Narron. Here's the throw to the plate by Tinsley offline. And Texas now leads 5-3. Juan Gonzalez drives in Rene Gonzalez. The RBI for Juan, his first of the ball game. And 42nd of the year, and it's going to knock Vaughn Eshelman out of the ball game after 4 innings plus. I'm sorry, Jerry.
We leaving?
We are leaving.
Okay, well, let's leave.
We'll leave. But hold that thought, and we'll get to it when we come back. With the score, 5-3 Texas. This is the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
With everything you can get on an award-winning Nissan Maxima, leasing one may seem very attractive. For a limited time, we're making it beautiful. Lease a Maxima GXE with automatic transmission for 0 down and $329 a month for 39 months.
It's what you won't see with Lubriderm gel cream that makes it different. No greasy smudges, no messy fingerprints. Because this cream helps protect from dryness without leaving behind a greasy feeling. Later, Gator.
To stop itch, get Benadryl cream. It stops itch on the skin surface, and only Benadryl penetrates to block histamines that trigger itch. Stop itch where it starts. Benadryl cream blocks histamines hydrocortisone can't.
I'm Doug Brown with a Major League scoreboard update. The Yankees hoping for a split of their series with the Indians. They have a 2-0 lead. Athletics and Brewers scoreless. Rick Aguilera starting for the Twins today at home. National League, 2 home runs for Mike Piazza. Fred McGriff has one for the Braves. Marlins have a 1-0 lead early. 3 other games in the National League just underway. Back to Fenway, and Sean, I can't stand it. What was Jerry going to say?
Yes, Jerry. What were you going to say? All of New England is waiting.
You know, really wasn't that important. I was going to say about Gonzalez, you fool him once, but you can't fool him twice. Threw him the breaking ball, back with the breaking ball again, and Gonzalez hitting it up the middle, driving a run, and run Vaughn Eshelman out of the ball game.
Eamon Buford's home run gave Texas the lead. The single by Gonzalez has added to the lead, and here's Garces on for the 24th time this year. All in relief. The one blemish, the 22 walks issued in 28 innings pitched. Sixth batter of the inning is Mickey Tettleton. Still nobody out. He greets Garces with a fly ball to left center, and that'll fall in for a hit. Played by Tinsley on the warning track. Greer around to score. Gonzalez to third. And Texas adds another run at 6-3. Tettleton with his first hit of the ball game and first RBI. His 39th run batted in of the year.
Starting to look a little bit like yesterday afternoon here at Fenway Park, where the Texas Rangers piling up the runs and also the hits. Not wasting any time. First fastball from Garces. Mickey Tettleton into that gap in left center field. Keeps this inning, big inning, going for the Texas Rangers. Second and third now. Red Sox pull the infield in with still nobody out.
It's dangerous with Dean Palmer at the plate. 4 runs in the inning and still nobody out. Palmer, the 7th batter of the inning. And he takes a ball 1-1. Dean today has singled to left and flied to right. He's second among all major league third basemen in homers and runs batted in. Only Jeff King has more homers than Palmer's 15 among major league third basemen. The Pirate third baseman has 16. Swing and a miss.
Third appearance of the series for Rich Garces. He picked up Gunderson yesterday after Gunderson was thrown out of the game because of the fisticuffs here at Fenway.
Check swing at a ball high. Now the 3-2 pitch. A bullet up the middle. It'll score at least one. They're going to try to score the second, and then the late stop sign put up for Tettleton. Now a throw to second, and Palmer is out. Jerry Narron was waving Tettleton around till the very last moment. He stopped a long way between home and third. And the throw was cut off by Vaughn. Juan Gonzalez scored to make it 7-3.
Seems like more and more players are now sitting on the breaking ball from Rich Garces. Obviously his best pitch. Vaughn had a couple of ways to go here. Either the third base to get Mickey Tettleton, but he was focused on that runner at first base, Dean Palmer. He'll throw the second base, easily get Palmer at second. Red Sox finally pick up an out. Now they're going to intentionally walk yesterday's hero, Warren Newsom. Take their chances with Dave Valley.
There was a single for Palmer. He's out 8-3-6 at second base. Juan Gonzalez scored. And the Rangers have batted around as soon as the walk to Newsom is complete, and it is. Dave Valley will be the ninth batter of the inning.
Number 10.
There's still only one out.
The catcher, Dave Valley.
All the runs charged to Esselman, who worked 4 innings plus and faced 5 batters here in the 5th. Now Dave Valley, who had a bases loaded 2-run single down the left field line in the 2nd inning, he's back up again with 2 men on. And no swing, said Durwood Merrill on the appeal. Valley was called out on strikes to end the 4th. The last batter retired by Eshelman.
One way to try to stay away from an inning double play is to send Warren Newsom at first base. A lot of curveballs from Gossett. That's a good pitch to try to run on.
The book on Eshelman today is complete. He worked 4 innings plus 5 batters in the 5th without retiring a hitter in the 5th inning. He gave up 7 runs, all earned, on 8 hits and 2 walks. He struck out 4, gave up a home run, and hit a batter. He threw 85 pitches, 50 of them strikes. Once again, the lack of consistency on the part of Red Sox starting pitchers, a big problem. Fastball swung on and missed, and it's a full count. As Kevin Kennedy says, starting pitching sets the tone, and during the 4-game winning streak, the starting pitching was excellent. Yesterday it was not from Tim Wakefield, and today, despite some good stretches by Eshelman, the bottom line is 7 runs allowed in 4 innings. The 3-2 pitch is strike 3. The runner was going, and Stanley didn't even bother to try it on the off-speed breaking ball. Newson has a stolen base, his 2nd of the year.
The shortstop, number 18, Kevin Elster.
Hey, this guy is going against the Red Sox. You might want to consider intentionally walking him. They're not going to do that, obviously, the number 9 hitter, but he has been awful tough.
Including today, Elster started this inning with a single to left. Scored on a 2-run homer by Buford. Late swing on the fastball for a strike. In this inning, Elster singled and Buford homered to left. Rene Gonzalez singled. Rusty Greer was hit by a pitch. Juan Gonzalez singled to center to drive in Rene Gonzalez. And that knocked Eshelman out of the ball game. Then Garces came in. The first pitch he threw, Mickey Tettleton doubled to left center to drive in Greer. Then Dean Palmer singled to center to drive in Juan Gonzalez. Newson was intentionally walked. Valley strike out. Newson has stolen 2nd. He's at 2nd. Tettleton's at 3rd. With the count 1-2 on Elster. 7-3 Texas. They've scored 5 times to take the lead and open up a 4-run cushion. Tipped into the middle of Stanley for strike 3. 10 men came to the plate in the Texas 5th. 5 of them scored. It's the Rangers 7 and the Red Sox 3 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
These guys are persistent.
Well, they're no match for the world's first sport utility wagon.
Oh, really?
All-wheel drive Subaru Outback's got more headroom than a Cherokee.
Uh-huh.
The ground clearance of an Explorer.
So you said.
Ride smooth as any car.
Got any more of those tidbits?
What, like more stability in a turn than a Chevy Blazer?
Sure, that'll do.
That's my Subaru Outback. World's first sport utility wagon.
Aren't you going to give your brother some kicks? Nah, why not? It doesn't have any candy or chocolate in it. I don't think we should.
Kix is simply a cereal with a good corn crunch. Low in sugar with no artificial colors or flavors.
Are you sure he can't have any? He had 2 bowls already. Really?
Kix, kid tested, mother approved. Now get a sing-along cassette and songbook from the Puzzle Place, free, with 2 proofs of purchase from Kix.
Reminds me of a stomach churning with acid, heartburn. This little pill can change all that. Zantac 75 helps prevent acid production for up to 12 hours. The medicine in Zantac 75 is so trusted that over the last 5 years, it's been the most prescribed medicine of its kind. Maybe the tide is finally turning.
Zantac 75, the final word in acid relief.
Happy Father's Day, Gator. Do you think they mean Mike Greenwell?
A chance of that. Isn't he getting operated on this afternoon, I believe?
I believe he is. We wish him well. And happy Father's Day. Time now for today's trivia question, brought to you by HQ. At HQ, the low price keeps you coming back. Name any of the 3 active players who played for a World Series champion and whose fathers did so as well. Father's Day question, a theme question. Any of the 3. All we have to do is come up with one of the 3 who has played for a World Series champion who had a father who did so. We only have to come up with father and son combinations. We just mentioned one here earlier, Damon Buford. Now, his dad played on a World Championship team, but did Damon? I don't think so.
No.
No. He hasn't been with teams that have won it. But we're off to a good start, in that we could at least name one father and son combination who played. John Valentin, the batter. He's 0 for 2, facing Ken Hill, who's gone all the way for Texas. That's down to third, scooped up nicely by Palmer. 1 out. Fine play by Dean Palmer on a well-hit ball to his left.
The first baseman, number 42, Mo.
Outstanding play here by Dean Palmer. One quick crossover step to his left to take a base hit away from John Valentin. Palmer has really bounced back nicely from that injury last season. Fine offensive year and very solid defensively at third base.
Ball low to Mo Vaughn. Mo is walked and scored. That was in the first. He singled to left in the third. He pulls that down the right field line, and the educated fans leave the ball alone. And Mo has a double standing up. 2 for 2 today for the hit dog.
Another multiple hit game for Mo Vaughn, his 30th multiple hit game on the season. Single and now the double, that topspin double, quickly making its way down the right field line. No fan interference on this, and a pretty good play by Warren Newsom. Does not allow it to get by him to keep Vaughn at second base with only the double. So many times that ball bounced past that right fielder, and base runners just keep on going.
Jose Canseco riding a perfect day like Mo Vaughn. Canseco with a 2-run homer over everything and left in the first with Vaughn aboard. He singled to left center in the third. Rangers lead 7-3 in the 5th. Fastball up and in, 2-0. My question would be, did Sandy Alomar Sr. ever play on a World Championship team?
I don't believe he did, no.
Robbie Alomar obviously did.
Right. I don't think Sandy did. I'm thinking.
How about Ed Sprague Sr.?
One I'm thinking about right now, Javier, Stan Javier and Julian Javier, St. Louis Cardinals. And that might lead us to another one.
Very high pop-up. Elster the catch. Oh, we know that Julian Javier did, but did Stan play on a World Championship team?
He a member of the Oakland A's?
I think it's possible. They're very silent in the truck.
Which is not good for us.
No. Well, sometimes it is. Sometimes it means we've answered it correctly, but they don't want to tell us, hoping that we'll change our answer. Reggie Jefferson is the batter. Reggie drove in a run when he reached on the fielder's choice in the third. He walked in the first. One and one the count. 2 outs, Vaughn at second. 7-3. Texas has the lead in the fifth. Big swing and a miss.
Staying with that St. Louis team, how about Dick Schofield? He was also on that team. Now, the young Schofield.
Yeah. In Toronto, you mean?
Was he at Toronto that year that they won the World Championship?
Good question. Yes, he was, actually. Now, whether or not he was active, I don't know. I believe that was the year that he hurt himself, was it not? I don't think he was around at the end of the season, but we could be getting into technicalities here.
Actually, I think it was the Pirates that Ducky Schofield was on. It was not St. Louis. Javier was with St. Louis, I know that. And I think Ducky Schofield's with the Pirates. Griffey's come to mind, but obviously Ken Griffey Jr. not yet a World Series champion.
Jefferson chops it to second. He is thrown out by Rene Gonzalez. That ends the inning. The Red Sox cannot capitalize on the one-out double by Mo Vaughn. After 5, it's 7-3 Texas, and we'll be right back after these words from your local sponsors along the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
This is WABI TV Channel 5, Eastern and Central Maine's home for Boston Red Sox baseball.
Everything. Until
Maine and New Hampshire is home to all kinds of Chevy people. Hard-working, fun-loving folks who get the most out of every day. The same people know how to get the most for their money, which is why they drive Chevy cars and trucks. With great values and plenty to choose from, maybe you should be driving a Chevy too.
I'm a Chevy man all the way.
Here's to Chevy people.
Your truck is important to you, and sometimes it cries for help.
What parts for your moving machine do you need? How can Motor Supply help you help your truck?
Can you help my car too?
Motor Supply, with 10 locations locally owned and operated, is your tough, reliable truck parts specialist. Do-it-yourself experience and advice is how Motor Supply helps you save money and time and get your wheels rolling again. When your truck needs your help, check out Motor Supply, your main source for auto parts.
While you're out playing, remember to stay away from electric substations. They're always off limits. Never throw stones, climb the fence, or play near the area. If a ball goes inside, leave it and call CMP. We'll come and get it for you.
Be safe. Read up on what's cool and what's not in CMP Smart Power Safety Guide. And remember, there's never a reason to play around a substation, ever.
Sean McDonough with Jerry Remy, our producer John Wilson, our director Tom Tedisco. Time now for the answer to today's HQ quiz question. Name any of the 3 active players who played for World Series champion, and what a dad who did so as well. Well, we mentioned 2 of them, and actually Jerry came up with both of them. Stan and Julian Javier, Dick and Ducky Schofield. And the third, Pedro Borbon Jr. and Sr. Of course, Pedro Sr. pitched for Cincinnati back in the 70s, and Jr. for Atlanta last year as the Braves won the World Series.
You'll get credit for that when you got that between the break.
Yes, but it was a little too late.
That's never too late.
Oh, that's true.
It is now that we've shown them. But
all they told us was we had to name one, so I consider that a successful answering of the question to extend our streak yet again. Now the subject of fathers and sons. Damon Buford bunts, and Garces throws him out. Bit of an acrobatic play required by Mo Vaughn at first, but he made the play for the out. Buford's now 1 for 4 with that 2-run homer that got the 5-run rally started last inning.
Too many times you see pitchers try to rush that play, go down with the bare hand, and end up bobbling it, and that runner safe at first base. Nicely done that time by Reggie Garces, and Mo Vaughn with some fancy footwork to pick up the out.
Garces now to Rene Gonzalez, who took ball 1 low. Gonzalez 2 for 3 today. He has doubled and singled both hits off the left field wall. And the fans trying to get the wave going. And at the moment they're succeeding. It looked like a swing, and it is, says Derwood Merrill, and the appeal down to first. Two balls and 2 strikes on number 88. Rene Gonzalez wearing the highest number in the history of the Texas Ranger franchise. High breaking ball fouled back to the screen. Again, on the subject of fathers and sons, Rene Gonzalez's dad, Ben, was an infielder in the St. Louis Cardinal organization back in the late 50s. Rene out on the bouncing ball to short. Two down in the 6th inning.
Number 29, Rusty Greer.
Certainly Kevin Kennedy can go to the well today with his bullpen. Tomorrow an off day for the Red Sox before opening up that 3-game series in Cleveland.
Rusty Greer hits it sharply to short, and it ate up Valentin. Might have gotten a piece of his bare hand on the way by. So late the scoring, it was well hit, but it was right at Valentin, a ball he should have come up with. If it's a hit for Greer, it's a 13-game hitting streak.
Well, I'm going to go along with should be a base hit. I don't know how it's going to be scored, but that's one of those top spin ground balls that just kind of explodes as Valentin goes to the backhand. You'll see it right here. Just really eat up John Valentin.
And it has been scored a hit. So Rusty Greer has hit in 13 straight games. That matches the longest hitting streak of his career, and both 13-game hit streaks have come this season. He had a 13-game hitting streak between May 7th and June 1st.
One of those ground balls where you don't have time to position yourself properly, and you hope that it just somehow lands in your glove.
Juan Gonzalez up there with a count of 1-1. He doubled and scored in the 2nd, singled to drive in a run, and scored again in the 5th. Rangers lead 7-3 in the 6th. They have 11 hits today after an 18-hit game yesterday. Garces has now given up 3 hits. He's pitched an inning and 2/3. Still has not been charged with a run. All the damage done last inning charged to Von Eshelman. 2-2 now on Juan Gonzalez. Gonzalez walked yesterday. It was the 11th time he's walked this year, and believe it or not, it wasn't until September 9th last year that he had walked 11 times. Strike 3 called. Gonzalez strikes out to end the inning. With the score, the Rangers 7 and the Red Sox 3. This is the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
Around here, this is where you drive, and this is where you save. It's the Chrysler and Plymouth Summer Getaway. Now, get introductory savings on the new Plymouth Breeze that could cover your down payment. You can get away with this great low starting price or a low 1.9% finance rate. This offer on the new Plymouth Breeze won't last. Hurry into the big Summer Getaway. If you want to see what's new at Chrysler and Plymouth, we'll show you what's new.
How have HQ's low prices affected you?
Well, when I went there to remodel the kitchen, I saved so much money that I could afford to remodel the bathroom, and I saved so much I could afford to remodel the den. And I'm only house sitting.
HQ prices are too low to resist, like PPG HomeGuard 12-year flat latex paint for a low $14.19 and a Dremel multi-tool an amazing $59.
Used to be a split level.
HQ, the low price keeps you coming back.
Infection-causing bacteria can live almost anywhere. That's why every cut
Ouch! Mommy!
needs Neosporin. At the microscopic level, Neosporin kills a broad spectrum of hundreds of bacterial strains, more than many other topical antibiotics. Also, adding Neosporin to a bandage helps cuts heal 4 days faster than a bandage alone. Help end the threat of infection. Heal cuts faster with Neosporin. And for painful cuts, try Neosporin Plus.
Boston Red Sox baseball, brought to you by your friendly New England Dodge dealers, by HQ, and by your New England Ford dealers.
Rangers have a 7-3 lead as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Fenway. The Red Sox travel to Cleveland for a 3-game series with the Cleveland Indians starting Tuesday, and 68 Sports will have Game 1 beginning with On Deck and your host Doug Brown at 6:30, followed by the Red Sox-Indians game at 7 over most of our 68 Sports television network.
Ken Hill, who pitched for the Indians last year, pitching with a 4-run lead this afternoon. His first pitch of the 6th, a strike to Mike Stanley. Stanley has struck out and fly to center. Troy O'Leary is on deck, then Lee Tinsley. One and one now. Ken Hill divided his time last year between St. Louis and Cleveland. Pitched very well in the postseason for the Indians. Was 2-1 with an ERA of under 2. Fly ball to center, handled by Buford. 1 out. On the scoreboard, the Yankees still lead Cleveland. The New York lead is now 3-0. They're in the bottom of the 4th inning at Yankee Stadium. Detroit leads Minnesota 1-0. Bottom of the 3rd of the Metrodome. Chad Curtis has homered for Detroit for the only run in that game off Rick Aguilera. And Oakland leads Milwaukee 3-0 after 2 in Milwaukee. Troy O'Leary with a well-hit ball to right, but Newsom doesn't have far to go. And there are 2 down. O'Leary now 0 for 2 with a walk.
Center fielder, Lee Tinsley.
And we're happy to say that George Goldsmith of Brighton did call in today. And on this Father's Day, George is a winner in the 68 Sports Watch and Win contest. And we congratulate him. Lee Tinsley, an infield hit in his last at bat. That was in the 4th. He stole second. He's 1 for 2. He bounced to 3rd in the 2nd. 2 very quick outs. And that's to left. 3 very quick outs. And a fly ball to each outfielder here in the bottom of the 6th. We head to the 7th. 7-3 Texas on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Gymnastics is the most beautiful and the most watched Olympic event because it has grace, has beauty, and incredible difficulty level performed by those athletes. In June, the best gymnast in America will be in Boston. This is where the U.S. Olympic team will be selected.
Call Ticketmaster at 617-931-2000.
Before you watch the Olympic Games on TV, come and see the champions in person.
Hey, it's autograph day at the racetrack. Come meet Ernie Irvan, Dale Jarrett, and Mark Martin.
Hey, Jack, where is everybody?
They'll be here soon.
Sorry, Jack. Everyone's at their Ford dealer's Winston Cup selling event because Ford just announced $1,500 total cash back on 96 Winstars. $1,500 cash back could mean no money down. Plus, Winstar is loaded with standard features. Only at your New England Ford dealer.
Got any sevens? Go fish.
Bring your group to friendly Fenway Park this season and join the fun and exciting action. The Boston Red Sox Group Discounted Fundraising Program gives you the chance to generate funds for your organization without taking a hit in the wallet. Everyone has fun at friendly Fenway Park. So get your friends together and come see Mo Vaughn, Roger Clemens, Mike Stanley, and John Valentin. For available seating and group ticket information, call the Red Sox Group Sales Office at 617-262-1915.
6 complete at Fenway. The Rangers have a 7-3 lead over the Red Sox. The 1996 Red Sox Media Guide is now available. This larger-than-ever guide provides 326 pages of player bios and stats, Red Sox records through the years, in-depth minor league information, and much more. To order your copy, please send a check for $9 to Red Sox Media Guide, 4 Yorkie Way, Boston, Mass. 02215.
Roger Clemens in the Red Sox dugout. He was at the center of the activity yesterday when the bench is empty. He went right at Lou Frazier. He was trying to throw him into a headlock as the Red Sox converged on the Texas outfielder. Mickey Tettleton begins the 7th against Rich Garces. There's a look back at yesterday, and there's Roger in the blue cutoff windbreaker going right for Lou Frazier.
Could see that coming yesterday too, Sean, because while the umpires were trying to figure out who they were going to warn or throw out of the game, Frazier was making his way not anywhere near the first baseline, but out close toward the pitcher Gunderson. Both Gunderson and Stanley, I think, kind of figured he might make a quick left turn, and that's exactly what he did. And that's when both benches emptied. Interesting, Dennis Cook was in the bullpen for the Texas Rangers, and Mike Stanton going at it pretty good. And I thought something might break out as they were heading back to the bullpens.
We haven't seen any signs of lingering hostility today. Rusty Greer was hit by a pitch, but there didn't seem to be anything intentional about it back in the 5th when Eshelman was struggling just to stay in the ball game. Full count on Tettleton. Dean Palmer is on deck. Then Warren Newson due up here in the 7th inning. Rangers lead 7-3. Good breaking ball for strike 3. And Garces has fanned 4 in 2 1/3 innings of relief.
Guys that have been called upon to try to hold the opposition quiet for a while did a nice job. Jamie Moyer did it yesterday, and Rich Garces so far in this one this afternoon.
Dean Palmer single to left in the 2nd, fly to right in the 4th, single to center to drive in a run in the 5th. He's now driven in a team high 52 runs for Texas. And he's even in the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Texas has 7 runs on 11 hits. The Red Sox 3 runs, 5 hits. And Palmer has his third hit of the ball game. It's trying to find the gap in right center. O'Leary over to play it. Palmer digging for 2, and he's there standing with a double. Dean Palmer is 3 for 4 today.
The right fielder, number 21.
Time you see an outfielder, that left-handed outfielder, making the play in the gap, you know he's going to have to spin either all the way around or jump pivot to try to make that throw. So it's an excellent opportunity to try to get 2 bases. O'Leary cutting the ball off in the gap here. Now he's going to have to make a complete turnaround to make that throw, and obviously that gives Palmer some additional time to get the double.
Warren Newson looked at strike 1. He struck out swinging in the second, bounced to short in the fourth, was intentionally walked in the fifth. Fastball inside. Coming through a book that was given to me before the game, Baseball Wit and Wisdom. It's full of quotations, things people have said about baseball over the years. Some of them pretty interesting. From Glenn Dickey in the San Francisco Chronicle in 1981. The guy with the biggest stomach will be the first to take his shirt off at a baseball game. Have to say that's true. From Reggie Jackson, fans don't boo nobodies. Three and 2 now. From Ernie Banks, the only way to prove you're a good sport is to lose.
Some of Ernie's teams did plenty of that.
Yes, he had plenty of experience at being a good sport, unfortunately. How about George Brett? If a tie is like kissing your sister, losing is like kissing your grandmother with her teeth out.
Interesting little book you got there.
The 3-2 chopped over the mound. Tough play. Fry has to get it there in a hurry and did. Newson out for the second out of the inning. Dean Palmer to third on the play.
Nice play on both ends by Jeff Fry and Mo Vaughn. Fry had to quickly get rid of that ball with Newsom's speed down the line, and he was so close to Vaughn and had to throw it so hard. That's a very difficult throw for the first baseman to pick up. Quick release right here out of the glove to the throwing hand, and a strike to Mo Vaughn, and just barely getting the out at first base. Nice play on both ends. You got another one?
Well, there are several in here that are interesting. Bob Lemon, former outstanding pitcher and manager. The two most important things in life are good friends and a strong bullpen. Red Sox have seen that this year, as the Red Sox lead the majors in blown saves. Dave Valley, the batter, with 2 outs and a runner at third. In the 7th inning, Texas leads 7-3. Valley has singled to drive in 2 runs, has struck out twice.
Flinching up here on that.
I flinched
foul ball.
Yeah, I'm reading through my book here and couldn't quite tell where that foul ball was going. It went back there. He was not going to part with the souvenir. Well hit toward the wall in left center, and just over the wall into the screen. A 2-run homer for Dave Valley. Former Red Sox catcher has had a big day today. He came into today's game with only 4 runs batted in for the year, and he's driven in 4 today with a 2-run single and now a 2-run homer. And the Texas lead grows to 9-3 in the 7th inning.
Home run number 1 for Valley on the season, and I'm sure he's very pleased that it happened here at Fenway Park. 0-2 base hit early in the game to drive in a couple. Now picks on a 3-1 fastball to just get it over that left field wall and give some more breathing room to the Texas Rangers. They have really been swinging the bat the last couple of days here at Fenway.
Seemed like the Red Sox gave up on Valley almost before his stint even began here. He was with them very briefly in 1994. Got into 30 games before the Red Sox traded him to Milwaukee in a deal that brought Tom Bernansky back to Boston for a short stint. First home run of the year for Valley. 75th major league home run. Garces strikes out Elster to end the inning. So the Rangers get 2 more on the home run by Valley. 7th inning stretch here at Fenway. 9-3 Texas on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
With everything you can get on an award-winning Nissan Maxima, leasing one may seem very attractive. For a limited time, we're making it beautiful. Lease a Maxima GXE with automatic transmission for 0 down and $329 a month for 39 months.
Your whole family loves has only 1 gram of sugar.
Now, for a limited time only, try new Team USA Cheerios with 3 different types of O's for a taste that stands alone.
So put the roses on the truck.
All right.
Thanks. It's allergy season, and I'm always congested. But the last time I took a strong medicine, it caused side effects that knocked me out and overdried my sinuses. This time I took Sudafed instead. Big difference.
Sudafed drains sinus pressure, clears nasal congestion with no overdrying, no drowsiness.
No congestion? No problem.
For strong relief with no unwanted side effects.
Take Sudafed instead.
Hope you're ready. It's time for some more Major League Scoreboard surfing. The Yankees and Andy Pettitte have a 4-0 lead on the Indians. The Athletics likewise on the Brewers. Tigers and Twins are tied at 1. Aguilera on the mound for Minnesota. National League, Dodgers have 2 homers from Mike Piazza for the lead. Marlins and Pirates are tied. Reds lead the Expos. Cardinals over the Mets. Cubs have a lead on the Padres in the early going. Phillies and Rockies just underway. Back to Sean and Jerry.
Thank you, Doug. First pitch of the home half of the 7th. Foul tipped by Bill Selby for strike 1. Second straight day, the Red Sox have a big deficit. We could use a little levity, and who better to turn to than well-known comedian Stephen Wright, Boston native. Line drive caught by Rene Gonzalez. Those of you who know you well know that you grew up here, you live here still, you're a Red Sox fan, you have your hat on.
Yeah, just coming to the park here since the mid-60s. Used to sit out in the bleachers for, I think it was 50 cents a game then.
And you made it 5 times
here.
this year, you were telling
5 times, yes. I have they've won 4 of the games I've been to, and I hope they don't break my streak today.
Well, it looks like your streak is in serious jeopardy as they trail by 6 here in the 7th. Jeff Fry is the batter. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Now, obviously, you have a tremendous sense of humor. Did you ever
I don't think it's going to work today.
On the players, or were you just a supportive fan, or did you use that maybe to give
Oh,
the
no.
players
You mean like heckling them and stuff?
Yeah, like heckling.
No, I never did that. No, just watch the game. Very polite, laid-back person, you know. Don't want to interrupt. Don't want to get in the way of anything.
Just like everybody else out in the bleachers, right?
Yeah.
Now, this view isn't too high for you. You're used to sitting in a good seat.
No, this is very interesting. I've never been up here. No wonder you guys have good seats. You can see pretty good here.
3-1 the count now on Fry with John Valentin on deck. Ken Hill has retired 6 in a row. He struggled early, but has settled into a groove as the game has gone along. And Fry grounds one through the middle, a base hit.
Last couple of innings, the Red Sox have hit the ball hard off Kenny Hill. Last time 3 line drives out in the 6th inning, and line drive out to lead off this inning. Finally, Jeff Fry picking up the base hit with a ground ball up the middle.
So Fry's had a hit in every game in this series against his former teammates, the Texas Rangers. It's the 6th hit for the Red Sox. Steve, we understand you're here with your dad today on Father's Day.
Father's Day, yes. Yep. Thought it would be a good thing to come to the game, and we were hoping another fight would break out.
What'd you think of that one yesterday?
Well, I just saw it on the highlights, but it looked very strange. The guy just kind of sneaking in there, you know, acting like he wasn't going to do anything.
Valentin pulled it foul, 0-2 the count. John's 0 for 3 today.
Oh, I see. You're writing what happened down. I thought you had an incredible memory. Oh, now I get it.
Yeah, we keep score of the game. Sometimes even with the scorecard, it doesn't help us. Because we can still make mistakes about what happened, but it does assist.
Isn't this a beautiful park?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. I know that, you know, I'm going to be sad when it's gone.
Well, have you ever been to the new parks that have the old style features like Baltimore or Cleveland, where you sort of have the coziness of a Fenway? But
no, I haven't been there yet.
Those are nice too. I think you'd enjoy that if you had a chance to visit. Now, do you get home to this area much? We know we see you on network TV all the time, and I'm sure you travel around performing.
I get back here a lot. I live here part of the year and part in California and the other part on the road. I've seen like, you know, where the Dodgers play in Seattle and stuff, and it's very bland atmosphere. Nothing compares to this.
Little pop fly in shallow right. Warren Newson battling the high sky, makes the catch. 2 outs.
When you go to the Dodgers games, do you get there late, like in the 4th inning, like LA people, and leave in the 7th?
No, I try to get there before it starts and all that. I know they're known for that, but I don't do that.
You ever been invited into Lasorda's office with all the rest of the big celebrities? No.
No, I haven't. I've only gone to a few games, because when I'm out there, I'm thinking about this place. Like, I can relate baseball to Fenway. Right. It's not like, you know, just go anywhere.
Mo Vaughn, the batter. Well, I know you were visiting with the radio announcers next door an inning or 2 ago, and one of your favorite lines is about your friend, the radio announcer, who goes in the tunnel.
Oh, yeah, you can't hear him talk when they go under the bridge. Yeah. Now, you guys could... Are you from the New England area?
Yes, Jerry and I both grew up here in the Commonwealth, so we can appreciate
that's great.
Your childhood experiences.
It must be fun growing up here and now doing this.
It is a great deal of fun. Some days more fun than others. It's always better when the Red Sox win. In a slightly more difficult season.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, I would imagine, in losing, there is more comedic value, at least. And my father covered the Patriots for many years. He said that, you know, if he could switch with somebody who covered the Green Bay Packers all those years, he might not, because the Patriots weren't winning. But there was a lot of humor in some of the situations.
There's more freedom.
Yes. Vaughn still working on a perfect day. Mo walked in the 1st and scored in the Canseco homer. He singled to left in the 3rd, doubled to right in the 5th against Ken Hill. So Mo's now 6 for 9 lifetime against Hill. Rose raised his average to 359 with the 2 for 2 today. Red Sox trail 9-3 in the 7th. That's a deep drive into the right field corner. Newson on the run. He can't get it. It's up into the stands on a hop. Bad break for the Red Sox. And that ball stayed on the field of play. Fry probably would have scored. But because it's a ground rule double, he has to stop at third. And the Red Sox have second and third with 2 down.
Mo Vaughn came into the game this afternoon 4 for 7 against Kenny Hill, and that certainly continues. 3 for 3 on the afternoon. Once again, one of those top spin line drives, and a tough break for the Red Sox by bouncing into the bleachers or into the right field stands. Certainly had that bounce around for a while. Jeff Fry would have been able to score, and a little bit closer. Vic Bosman out to have a conversation with Kenny Hill. There is some activity just starting now in the Texas bullpen.
Ed Vosberg, the left-hander, who is throwing for Texas.
It's almost like Kenny Hill knows he's not going to get Mo Vaughn out.
Yeah. Really, it started that way with the very first at bat today when Hill retired the first 2 batters of the game easily and then pitched very carefully to Mo and walked him.
Do you have a favorite all-time Red Sox player?
Yes, Tony Canigliaro.
I see.
Yeah. Remember the '67 World Series and all that, and that whole year where it's like I was 12 years old, and that was fantastic. He was like my guy. You know, when you're a kid and you have like one player you follow. I love watching Canseco, though. I love how he destroys the ball.
As he did in the first inning when he had a 2-run homer over the screen. He singled in the 3rd, popped out in his last at bat. That's a fair ball down in the left field corner, and it will drive in 2. And Jose will reach second safely with a very significant limp as Rusty Greer couldn't come up with the ball in left. So now it's 9-5, and of course we've seen a lot of awkward running by Canseco this year, but he really appeared to be limping more than usual when he was pulling up into second base.
One of those shots you were talking about quickly by Dean Palmer on the dive at third base. Unfortunately, did not get a piece of that wall out there all the way down to the 3-10 mark. Both runs come across to score, and Canseco limps his way into second base with the double. Down to a 4-run game.
Well, Canseco has knocked in 4 of the 5 Red Sox runs today. Red Sox trying to climb right back into it, now down by 4 with 2 outs in the 7th. 8 hits given up by Hill. Reggie Jefferson is the batter. And that's very slowly towards second. Could be a tough play. It is. Gonzalez couldn't come up with it. Looked like Tettleton, Gonzalez, and Hill were all trying to figure out their individual responsibility on the play as it was rolling very slowly to the right side. And now it's 1st and 3rd with 2 down. That's a hit for Jefferson.
It's almost like a perfect drag bunt here for Reggie Jefferson, and that inexperience of Mickey Tettleton at first base, I think, hurt him here. Started out after it, could not get to it, and then Rene Gonzalez tried to make the play with the bare hand. He would have had to flip to Kenny Hill covering, so another break here for the Red Sox.
Now the tying run is in the on-deck circle. And the crowd comes to life here at Fenway as Mike Stanley stands in. As the 7th batter of the inning, he's 0 for 3 today. Ball 1 low. Stanley is struck out and has twice flied to center. He's homered in each of the last 2 games. And in 3 of his last 4 starts prior to today. The 1-0 fastball is at the knees for a strike.
Red Sox would love to get into that bullpen for Texas. They have been struggling in the month of June.
Well, 1-1. Another good fastball. Outside part of the plate. Stanley knew it. Not much he could do about it. 1-2. Texas bullpen in this month of June has converted only 3 of 7 save opportunities. The 1-2 from Ken Hill. Check swing at a ball up and in. It was not a swing. The only strikeout for Hill today was that strikeout of Stanley swinging to end the first. Ball 3 low. Now the count is full. Jefferson will be running from first with the pitch. The tying run in the on-deck circle is Troy O'Leary. So Stanley reached. That might be all for Hill with the lefty Vosberg ready in the bullpen. Just outside, ball 4. And the bases are loaded. The Red Sox get the tying run to the plate here in the 7th. And that's the 5th walk issued by Hill. He hadn't issued a walk since he walked O'Leary leading off the 4th. And here comes the Texas manager to bring Hill back to the dugout with him, and in all likelihood summon Ed Vosberg into the ball game. It will be Vosberg. Stephen Wright, we enjoyed the visit very much.
Thank you very much.
Always
Thanks
great
for
to see
having
you
me.
around Fenway. Continued success in your career, and have a great day with your dad here today.
Thank you.
9-5 is the score. Texas has the lead, but the Red Sox have the bases loaded when we come back on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Around here, this is where you drive, and this is where you save. It's the Chrysler and Plymouth Summer Getaway. Big savings so you can get away with this great low monthly lease on Plymouth Neon. Or drive off with $1,000 cash back. Or take the low 1.9% financing. Now's the time to save on Plymouth Neon at the big Summer Getaway. If you want to see what's new at Chrysler and Plymouth, we'll show you what's new.
I'm telling you, we've got a grizzly and then some.
Campers beware. The animals are out of control.
Just terrific. Animals biting people and no food.
Mother Nature's angry. Now it's time to pay.
There'll be no way to stop them.
By land, by sea, by air.
Get up and move before these birds eat your eyes out. Come on!
There's nowhere to run and no place to hide when nature strikes back. This week at 8 on WABU TV 68.
On High Tide, an old friend meets foul play.
The Jesse I knew would never have gone diving.
And a mystery unfolds.
You telling me Jesse's body arrived at the hospital half an hour before the boat ever docked?
When the victim returns from the grave.
Jesse!
The friend has a nasty habit of not staying dead.
Only to die. And die again.
Jesse!
Rick Springfield and Yannick the Sunstar on the next High Tide.
Sunday at 7 on WABU TV 68.
Come see Mo Vaughn and Jose Canseco knock the ball out of Fenway Park. To purchase tickets for the 1996 season, phone the Red Sox ticket office at 617-267-1700. For groups of 40 or more, call the group sales office at 617-262-1915. Friendly Fenway, fielding new dreams. Ed Vosberg will be taking over, making his second appearance of this series. 19th overall, no wins and no losses. 19 hits allowed in 17 innings, 10 walks, 14 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .275 off the Texas left-hander.
And Ken Hill departs after 6 2/3 innings. Not a great outing by his standards, but he's in line for the victory if the bullpen can protect it. But as we mentioned a moment ago, the Texas bullpen has been shaky lately. Troy O'Leary, the tying run at the plate. Time called. O'Leary 0 for 2 with a walk today. Leary's hitting .200 against left-handed pitching this year. 1-0 the count. We're just guessing, but would you surmise that Tim Naring must not even be able to hit, or we might see him against this lefty?
I've been told that he was not available today and probably wouldn't be, depending on how things go for him, until Tuesday night in Cleveland.
We're hoping that with a day off tomorrow, Naring might be able to go Tuesday. He visited a chiropractor yesterday, trying to get rid of that back stiffness. O'Leary, who doesn't hit very well against lefties, stays up there and takes the ball in the dirt. Lee Tinsley is on deck. Jose Canseco is the runner at third. Reggie Jefferson at second. And Mike Stanley at first. Not much speed on the base paths for the Red Sox. The 2-1 to O'Leary. He fought it off out of play to the left. 2-2 the count. 2 runs in this inning. We answered the 2 scored by Texas in the top. The Rangers still have a 4-run lead, 9-5. Bases loaded for Boston. O'Leary, the 8th batter of the inning. Full count, 2 outs. The runners will be off with the pitch. Vosberg has to throw a strike. Lee Tinsley hoping to bat next for Kevin Kennedy in this inning. The payoff pitch. Out of play to the left. Vosberg came with the fastball. And O'Leary was late with the swing. Vosberg, a journeyman left-hander, 34 years old. Spent a lot of time in the minors. He's pitched at the big league level for San Diego, San Francisco, Oakland, and Texas. And he's in a tough spot here. The 3-2. Fly ball down the left field line. Long run for Greer. Slicing toward the stands.
Gutsy pitch there by Vosberg, going to the breaking ball on the 3-2 count with the bases loaded. Now, as a hitter, O'Leary, you don't know what to look for. He's just shown you that he will do that. Still have to set in the fastball and hope you can adjust to the breaking ball.
Vosberg had a quick word with Valley out in front of the mound as he got the new ball. Another 3-2 pitch. Chopped up the middle. That will be a base hit. 2-run score. And it's 9-7, and the tying run is now aboard at first base. Canseco scored from third. Jefferson from second. Stanley to third on the play. Wasn't starched up the middle by O'Leary, but he got enough of it. A terrific at bat against the left-hander by Troy. And the 2 runs batted in give him 36 for the year, and the Red Sox have made a game of it. It's 9-7.
Excellent battle put on by Troy O'Leary that time against a tough left-hander, a guy who's been tough on lefties all season long. Fouled off a pitch on 3-2, a breaking ball, back with the fastball, and tops it right back up the middle to drive in a couple of runs. Red Sox have the confidence that they can come back on this bullpen of the Texas Rangers.
Go-ahead run at the plate. Tying run at first. O'Leary draws a throw. Johnny Oates elects to stay with a left-hander, Vosberg, to pitch to the switch-hitting Tinsley. Lee batting for the first time today from the right side. He's 3 for 7 since rejoining the Red Sox, right-handed. That's a .429 average. He's still looking for his first RBI this season for the Red Sox. This is his 7th game. Today he's 1 for 3, an infield hit off the glove of Ken Hill. Back in the 4th. He tried to check his swing. That was a swing. One strike on Tinsley. All the runs charged to Hill. Hill responsible for Stanley, the runner at third. Hill can only win the game. He cannot lose it. And to this point, it has not been a good-looking at-bat for Lee Tinsley.
And completely fooled on two breaking balls by Ed Vosburg. See, those type of swings, you just might want to stay with the same pitch. Maybe waste a fastball, but you're going for the out. Go to the breaking ball.
Tinsley, the ninth batter of the inning, waits as once again O'Leary draws a throw. O'Leary has not attempted a stolen base this year. Not blessed with good speed. Vosburg wasted one outside. Tinsley did not chase it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 9-7 Texas in the 7th inning. These two teams have combined for 23 hits now. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Got away from Valley, and he throws to Tettleton for the out that ends the inning. So the Red Sox have at the very least begun the comeback process as they get 4 runs. And they trail 9-7 after 7 on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
The all-wheel drive cars from Subaru. Each looks beautiful on the surface. Any surface. Subaru all-wheel drive is the ultimate safety feature. It reacts instantly, transferring power automatically from the wheels that slip to the wheels that grip to help keep you safely on the road, even where there are no roads. The all-surface, all-weather, all-wheel drive line from Subaru. The beauty of all-wheel drive.
Documents have to be printed.
This is great.
The color must be exquisite. The print quality, even better. Fortunately, you just brought home a new HP home printer with Disney's Mickey and Friends Print Studio software. After all, deadlines have to be met. HP home printers.
I love honey Cheerios, 'cause nobody can say no to a honey nut. Oh, not your mama, not your sister, not even daddy. Golden honey toasty nut. Oh, nobody can say no to honey nut Cheerios. 'Cause nobody can say no.
Now you can get a free Olympic sports medallion in specially marked boxes of Cheerios cereals.
Red Sox back in the game. A 9-7 Texas lead now as we move to the top of the 8th inning. The 3rd edition of the Red Sox scorebook is now available. Inside are features on Fenway Stars of the Past, a pictorial on the recent friendly Fenway Festival, and a color action poster of Heathcliff Slocum. To order your copy, please send a check for $3 to Red Sox Scorebook Magazine, 4 Yorkie Way, Boston, Mass. 02215. The Red Sox pitcher will be Joe Hudson, making his 10th appearance of the season. A record of 1-2, 4.76 ERA. Hudson was in the ballgame yesterday, 2/3 of an inning. Sacrifice fly and a strikeout to end the 7th inning.
Texas has bullpen action. Jeff Russell is warming up, former Red Sox reliever. Now Joe Hudson ready to go to work. He's the 3rd Red Sox pitcher of the game. His first pitch, a strike to Damon Buford. It's the top of the order for Texas in the 8th. Buford had a big hit in this game, the 2-run homer in the 5th that sparked the 5-run rally. Buford, Rene Gonzalez, and Rusty Greer due up. Rich Garces pitched 3 innings of relief. He allowed 2 runs, both earned on 5 hits and 1 intentional walk. He struck out 5. The damage done to him was on the home run by Dave Valley last inning. But the starters Eshelman and Hill are still the pitchers of record. I believe we might have had a proposal down in the first base stands. The fans are cheering, and There's a couple hugging and just above the lower box seats.
Gentleman has a Red Sox jersey on. Obviously, she said yes.
There he is, and there she is. Apparently, the honeymoon has begun. Now there's celebrities, people rushing to take their picture. Buford's pop-up, handled by Vaughn and foul ground.
Well, good luck to him.
On Father's Day.
Second baseman, Rene Gonzalez.
Rene Gonzalez 2 for 4 today. Double and a single. He scored a run. Swing and a miss for strike one. Well, the Indians are trying to make a game of it with the Yankees down in New York. New York got off to a 5-0 lead for Andy Pettitte, but Manny Ramirez hit a 3-run homer for Cleveland. His 16th homer of the year. Now it's 5-3. New York has the lead after 5. Ramirez grew up not far from Yankee Stadium. There's a lot of fans, family members there. O'Leary seemed to be having a tough time finding the ball in the sun, but he made the catch. Not far from the right field foul pole. 2 down in the Texas 8th. The Rangers lead 9-7.
Even with the sunglasses on for O'Leary, that right field can be very difficult. Shades with the hat and also the glove. Finally making the play, getting close to that railing out there in right field.
Now Rusty Greer singled on the ball that went through Valentin last inning. Rusty extended his hitting streak to 13 games. John Jaha's at a grand slam today for Milwaukee. That came in the bottom of the 3rd at County Stadium, and the Brewers now lead Oakland 5-4 after 3. Brewers don't have a great number of household names in their lineup, but they score a lot of runs. They started the day 2nd in the American League in runs scored behind only Seattle. Seattle, Milwaukee, and Texas, the only 3 teams in the American League that have scored more than 400 runs starting today's action. Mariners at 408, Milwaukee at 404, Texas at 401. Of course, the Rangers have scored 9 runs today.
And that's a whole barrel of runs at this stage of the season.
Three and one now on Greer. Those are the numbers starting today's action. Seattle, not all that big a surprise, number 1, but certainly Milwaukee, big surprise at number 2 among the big boys. Greer walks. He's on base for the 3rd time. Jerry, he's the kind of player, the more you see him play, the more you have to like Rusty Greer.
Exactly. You know, on a team like the Texas Rangers, they've had a number of stars through the years. You don't really pay that much attention to Rusty Greer. Well, now the focus is on him, hitting in the 3rd spot, and does a lot of things well. Carried a .335 batting average coming into today's action. That's not too shabby. That's just out of the top 10 in the league.
Juan Gonzalez, the hitter. Ball 1 low. He's 2 for 4 today. Has doubled and singled, has driven in a run, and has scored twice. His last at bat against Rich Garces, he was called out on strikes. Rangers lead 9-7 in the 8th inning. Texas aiming for a split of this 4-game series. Their road trip continues in Baltimore. And they'll return home next weekend to host the Red Sox. Red Sox are off tomorrow. Then they're in Cleveland for 3 before heading to Texas for 3. Tuesday night in Cleveland. We'll have the ball game for you right here on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network. Beginning at 7 o'clock for the ball game, 6:30 for On Deck with Doug Brown. Aaron Seeley will make the start for Boston, and Jack McDowell for Cleveland. Wednesday and Thursday's games are on Nesson. And we'll have all 3 games of the Texas series next weekend for you. Gonzalez walks, and now Hudson has issued back-to-back walks after retiring the first 2 batters of the inning.
Number 15.
Kennedy's team right back in the game. Only a 2-run deficit now, and 2 quick outs and 2 quick walks. I'm going to get Mike Stanton up and starting to loosen up.
On Wednesday in Cleveland, it'll be Tom Gordon on the mound against Orel Hershiser. Hershiser's pitched very well lately. Won his last couple of starts. And on Thursday night, Roger Clemens against Chad O'Jay. Roger will not be pitching in the Texas series in front of family and friends. Mickey Tettleton looked at ball 1. The fans down below growing restless with Joe Hudson. To the right side and corralled by Fry, and that ends the inning. The Rangers strand 2. They've left 8 men on. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 9-7 Texas on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Dodge Dakota is number 1 in resale versus Ford, Chevy, and GMC. Number 1 in horsepower. Number 1 in torque. Even number 1 in towing. So it should come as no surprise that across America, Dodge pickups are number 1 in sales growth. Now get up to $3,500 off on Dodge Dakota, including $1,000 cash back.
See your friendly New England Dodge dealer today.
Hey, how about a little reward?
A dozen roses.
A brownie filled with fudge.
A brownie.
Introducing Sweet Rewards Double Fudge Brownies.
Ooh, did you say double fudge?
Yep, surrounded by a dark, moist brownie.
Pardon me for drooling.
Go ahead. They're fat-free.
Get out.
New Sweet Rewards Double Fudge Brownies from Betty Crocker. Only Betty could make fat-free this rewarding.
You know, forget the flowers. I'll take a dozen of these.
There's only one denture cleanser with Listerine ingredients, Efferdent Plus, to fight denture odor. It kills 99.9% of the germs that cause denture odor, so you can get this close. Efferdent Plus. Kill the germs, kill the odor.
To stop itch, get Benadryl cream. It stops itch on the skin surface, and only Benadryl penetrates to block histamines that trigger itch. Stop itch where it starts. Benadryl cream blocks histamines hydrocortisone can't.
Down by 2, 9-7 of the Red Sox, who move to the bottom of the 8th inning. If you need assistance in planning a large group outing this summer, then look no further than the Boston Red Sox. They have 16 designated dates as part of their group discount and fundraising program, where they can help you generate funds for your special organization. For more information, please phone the group sales office at 617-262-1915. Friendly Fenway, fielding new dreams.
MVPs of the day. Happy Father's Day to all the dads. WABU 68 Sports. Isn't that nice? Well, Ed Vosberg has been lifted here as we go to the bottom of the 8th because Alex Delgado was just introduced as a pinch hitter for Bill Selby. So with the right-handed hitter coming up, Johnny Oates has summoned Jeff Russell. Will step aside with the score 9-7 Texas on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Around here, this is where you drive, and this is where you save. It's the Chrysler and Plymouth Summer Getaway. Now, get introductory savings on the new Plymouth Breeze that could cover your down payment. You can get away with this great low starting price or a low 1.9% finance rate. This offer on the new Plymouth Breeze won't last. Hurry into the big summer getaway. If you want to see what's new at Chrysler and Plymouth, we'll show you what's new.
Your truck is important to you, and sometimes it cries for help.
What parts for your moving machine do you need?
How can Motor Supply help you help your truck?
Can you help my car too?
Motor Supply, with 10 locations locally owned and operated, is your tough, reliable truck parts specialist. Do-it-yourself experience and advice is how Motor Supply helps you save money and time and get your wheels rolling again. When your truck needs your help, check out Motor Supply, your main source for auto parts.
Around here, people know it takes more than just luck to get by. What really matters is how hard you can work, how tough and reliable you are, whether you'll be there day after day, on job after job. That's what Chevy people and tough Chevy trucks are all about. Find out for yourself by taking a test drive.
I need a truck I can depend on.
Maine and New Hampshire is Chevy country.
First ball swinging, hits a high fly to center. Buford the catch, 1 out.
Number 3.
Let's pause now for station identification along the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
This is WABI-TV Channel 5, Eastern and Central Maine's home for Boston Red Sox baseball.
Texas bullpen. Jeff Fry bats against Jeff Russell. Fry looked at strike 1. 9-7 Texas. 13-10 the hits are in favor of Texas. Neither team has made an error. Fry has scored 2 of the 7 Red Sox runs. He walked and scored in the 3rd, singled and scored in the 7th, 1 for 3. Once again today getting on base twice in 4 plate appearances. Chop to short. Nice hop for Elster. 2 outs.
Number 13, the shortstop, John Valentin.
Now John Valentin. He and Selby, the only Red Sox starters who have not reached base today. Valentin's 0 for 4. And that's a routine fly to center. Jeff Russell comes on and has an easy 1-2-3 inning. On to the 9th. 9-7 Texas. We'll be right back after these words from your local sponsors along the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
For 40 years, Pineview Mobile Homes in Winslow has been serving our customers one at a time. And from the start, it's all been a part of the same family.
I've worked with 3 generations of this family, and I know we've sold some wonderful homes to Maine people.
And we've delivered to families throughout Maine.
The service didn't stop after the home was delivered. Ed would drop by to see how we were getting along.
At Pineview Mobile Homes, our family's business is your family's comfort, just the way it's been for 40 years.
The award, 1996 4x4 of the year. But you don't get it unless you earn it.
And once again, Jeep Grand Cherokee did. But with all of Grand Cherokee's major new improvements, was it really any surprise? Jeep Grand Cherokee. Lease one for only $329 a month. This is your year for the award-winning 4x4 of the year.
See your New England Jeep and Eagle dealers.
Napa carries more parts than anyone in the country. And during a big sale, I feel I can carry each one myself.
NASCAR fans, purchase our Blue Max Premium Car Wax for $7.49 and take home a stub fattened race car free. And enter to win Napa's NASCAR weekend, complete with lodging and tickets for Saturday and Sunday's Winston Cup 300 at New Hampshire International Speedway. Enter to win now at Napa.
We keep America running.
Sean McDonough with Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park, where the Texas Rangers lead 9-7 as they try to make it 2 wins in a row over the Red Sox this weekend to salvage a split of the 4-game series. Alex Delgado remains in the ballgame for the Red Sox at third base. And it's still Joe Hudson on the mound. He pitched 1 scoreless inning. That was the last inning, as you might expect. Since you can't be in there, leave and come back. Walked 2 last inning, but got out of it when Mickey Tettleton grounded out to end the innings. Facing Dean Palmer, who already has 3 hits today, and Palmer popped that one up very high. Valentin the catch. Palmer now 3 for 5. Warren Newson scheduled to bat next, and then Dave Valley.
The right fielder, number 21, Warren Newson.
Warren Newson 0 for 3 today with an intentional walk.
Wouldn't let me stay.
Jerry, after the series next weekend in Arlington between these two teams, that's it for the season series. Red Sox will be finished with the Texas Rangers. What do you make of this Texas team? Is this the year you think they finally have enough pitching to hang in there and make it to the postseason for the first time?
Well, as long as Randy Johnson can maybe stay on that disabled list for the Seattle Mariners, I think the Texas Rangers may have an excellent chance at it. 5-game lead right now with Seattle 35-30. It's going to be tough unless they can get Randy Johnson back. I think there are some concerns about the bullpen for the Texas Rangers, whether they'll be able to hold up throughout the course of the whole season. Starting rotation looks very solid. Kenny Hill, I think, is going to have a good year, and Kevin Gross has pitched great against the Red Sox a few times that we've seen him. Roger Pavlik putting up some big wins.
Here's Gross, who went the distance to earn the win yesterday. Pavlik's 9-1, even though he has an ERA of 5.01. Those numbers don't match up.
I still think, though, that division may be wide open. The Angels starting to play better. They're back to, what, 6.5 games out, I think, right now. They've got a solid club. I think they got down on themselves early in the year. They were not scoring runs like they did a year ago, and I think that affected a lot of their play, both defensively, affected the pitchers. I like the Texas club, though.
Yes. In this era of expansion, just about everybody has holes. And Texas has some problems, certainly, but looks like they have enough to perhaps pull it off this year. Make it to postseason for the first time. Newson out on the chopper to second. And there are 2 down to the Texas 9th. The Rangers lead 9-7. Well, the Red Sox will have their big guns coming up in the bottom of the 9th inning. Mo Vaughn, Jose Canseco, and Reggie Jefferson are due up. Now Dave Valley. He takes a strike. He homered in his last at bat, a 2-run homer. He had a 2-run single back in the second. Home run, his first since 1994, June 30th of 1994. When he was playing for Milwaukee. He didn't hit one last year in 36 games for Texas. He's out to the pop-up that ends the inning. The Rangers go in order in the 9th. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Red Sox still on the comeback trail, trailing 9-7 on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
There were a lot of 20s out there, but there's only one.
Number 1 in horsepower, number 1 in torque, even number 1 in payload and overall power. In fact, Dodge Ram is number 1 in more categories than any full-size pickup. So it should come as no surprise that across America, Dodge pickups are number 1 in sales growth.
See your friendly New England Dodge dealer today.
How have HQ's low prices affected you?
Well, when I went there to remodel the kitchen, I saved so much money that I could afford to remodel the bathroom, and I saved so much I could afford to remodel the den. And I'm only house sitting.
HQ prices are too low to resist, like new light filtering window shades starting at $201 and a Step 2 lawn cart an amazing $39.99.
Used to be a split level.
HQ, the low price keeps you coming back.
9-7 Texas heading to the bottom of the 9th. The final game of this 4-game series. Save situation, so Johnny Oates has summoned his closer, Mike Henneman.
24th appearance for Henneman, 18 saves. As he was roughed up here the other night by the Red Sox in game 1 of this series. Took the loss, his 4th loss of the season. Hitting at 2/3, 3 hits, 4 runs. All were earned, 3 walks and 1 strikeout. Made 42 pitches. Had a couple of opportunities to close out the Red Sox and could not do it. And he's had some troubles through his career here at Fenway Park.
He had a couple of chances to close it out the other night. He's 18 for 22 in save situations. But has only saved 3 out of 5 in June. And has allowed 10 runs in his last 5 innings. His ERA has nearly doubled during those last 5 innings, from 3.64 up to the current 6.85.
Now batting for the Red Sox. The first
On this Father's Day, the fans hoping for one more comeback by the Red Sox. They have the hitters they want to see up there. Mo Vaughn leads off. Mo has had a perfect day. 2 doubles, a single, and a walk. 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored. He's now batting .361. Jose Canseco to follow, and then Reggie Jefferson. No action in the Texas bullpen. And Henneman's first pitch is a strike. Decent numbers for Vaughn against Henneman. 2 career homers. He was trying to hit one with that swing. It's 0-2. Henneman 3rd in the league in saves with his 18. Only Jose Mesa with 22 for Cleveland. Roberto Hernandez with 20 for Chicago have more. Well hit, base hit, right field. And the tying run comes to the plate for the Red Sox.
And a few 0-2 mistakes in this game today, and another one right there by Mike Henneman, leaving it out over the plate, and Vaughn picks up his 4th hit of the afternoon.
He's 4 for 4. We were talking about this during the commercial break, Jerry. It's automatic these days. The manager seems to bring in the closer no matter what. But Jeff Russell comes in, has a very easy 1-2-3 inning. Henneman struggled lately, including against the Red Sox here the other night, and yet Henneman's out there.
I expected maybe to see Dennis Cook come in and face Mo Vaughn, then go back to Henneman to try to get Canseco and then Jefferson.
Cook was warming up last inning. Now Canseco's been on a tear with the long ball. And he's had a big day today. A 2-run homer in the 1st, a single in the 3rd. He popped out in the 5th, then doubled to drive in 2 more in the 7th. 3 for 4, 4 runs batted in, and 2 runs scored for Canseco. He's now hitting .285. The homer was his 21st. He's driven in 49 this year. Got a pitch he could hammer and smashed it foul. Henneman's lucky. That one didn't get taken over the screen. Jose broke his bat. 2nd time he's broken a bat today. But you throw Jose this pitch again, and it might be off that Budweiser sign in the background.
Gene Palmer right on that 3rd base line, trying to prevent an extra base hit. Ball quickly tailing away from him. You're right, he had one he could handle there.
He sure did. That was a bad pitch that Henneman got away with. 9-7 Texas. Johnny Pesky surveying the broken bat. Well, he's back to a bat that resembles the first bat he used today, the one with which he hit the home run. With the dark barrel. Outfield very deep all the way around for Canseco. They don't want an extra base hit in this situation. Rear and left almost has his heels on the warning track. Buford as deep as you'll ever see a center fielder in this ballpark, and Newsom not very deep Not very far from the warning track, rather, in right, very deep. The ball low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
That was a tough outing for a closer when you come back into a game, same series, same ballpark, after giving it up a couple of nights ago.
Much better pitch by Henneman.
Tell if it was a slider or a split-fingered fastball from Henneman, but certainly a good location down and off the outside edge.
The 2-2 up and in. Henneman looked to the heavens after he threw it. He certainly didn't want to throw a flutter ball up in there. Thinking to himself, boy, I'm lucky that wasn't just a little bit more out over the heart of the plate. That one might have been tattooed by Canseco. On at first, nobody out, 9th inning. 9-7 Texas. Full count on Jose. The payoff pitch. On the ground, base hit. Just out of the reach of Elster, the shortstop. Vaughn to second. Canseco has a 4-hit day. He's 4 for 5. Vaughn's 4 for 4. And here comes Reggie Jefferson representing the winning run at the plate.
And it seems like Henneman working here, just trying to survive, trying to hopefully get out of an inning instead of that confidence you normally see a closer have when they're going well coming into a game. Hot ground ball by the dive of Kevin Elster. Red Sox quickly with 2 on and nobody out. And it's almost like here we go again.
Maybe Tettleton went into the mound to try to calm Henneman down. Now here comes Dick Bosman. Still no action in the Texas bullpen. I showed you the statistics on Henneman when he came into the ballgame. 0-4 this year. With that loss on Thursday, he's now dropped his last 9 decisions. Hasn't had a win at the major league level since he beat the Yankees in April of 1994. His last 9 decisions have all been losses. Thursday night was the first time this year that he had not finished a game. It looks like he'll finish this one with either a save or a loss. Jefferson the batter. Big swing and a miss. That's pitch right down around where Reggie usually likes it.
Yeah, this should be a good matchup for Reggie Jefferson. If Henneman is on target, he's down, and certainly Reggie likes to pitch down.
Jefferson today, an infield hit in 4 at-bats. He's driven in a run. In the dirt and to the backstop, and that's a big play. It goes up into the stands. And now that greatly reduces the risk of the double play, and it puts the tying run in scoring position.
It's hard to believe nobody warming up out in that bullpen right now for Johnny Oates. Henneman all over the place. This splitter bouncing out in front of Valley. 2 Red Sox runners advance, and now the tying run at second base.
In the air in left field. Way back at the wall, watching it go. Greer, it is gone! 3-run homer by Reggie Jefferson, and the Red Sox have pulled out another in the bottom of the ninth. They win it 10-9. And send the Texas Rangers reeling as their road trip will continue in Baltimore. Jerry, you can just see it in the body language of Mike Henneman. We've seen him a long time, particularly with the Tigers. He has 180 career saves. He's usually a very aggressive, confident-looking fellow out there, but everything about his body language Thursday and tonight said he knew he just wasn't on top of his game.
He's a guy that's had some problems, and particularly here against Red Sox teams at Fenway Park. And when you come off an outing like last time, as Reggie Jefferson takes the cheers from the crowd, he did not look confident at all in any of his pitches that he threw in that inning. Once Vaughn got the base hit, he was in trouble.
As we discussed, you wonder why he was summoned. Jeff Russell, a guy who has plenty of closing experience, had a very strong 8th inning. Henneman's struggles date back prior to Thursday. He's been shaky in his appearances in this month of June, as the statistics detailed. And Jefferson got it out over the plate, went with the pitch, and it cleared the screen, cleared the wall up into the screen with room to spare. And good for Reggie Jefferson, his 6th of the year. Mo Vaughn watching it go. He was tagging up to make the safe play that you have to make, but he knew. And the Red Sox have won 3 out of 4. And Henneman wearing that same pained look he had throughout the outing. Reggie Jefferson, a good guy to have on a team, has come up with a lot of clutch hits and accepts his role very well. He has been a very effective hitter whenever he's played, but he isn't in there regularly when Mitchell and the rest of them are all healthy. And good for him. He accepts his role well and really is a team guy.
One of the most popular players on the Red Sox team. Everybody pulls for Reggie Jefferson, and the reason he's in left field for that, they want his bat in the lineup because he can do some serious damage against right-handed pitching, and he sure has proved that once again here for the Red Sox for the come-from-behind win.
Final score 10-9. We'll be back after these words from your local sponsors along the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
Hey, it's autograph day at the racetrack. Come meet Ernie Irvin, Dale Jarrett, and Mark Martin.
Hey, Jack, where is everybody?
They'll be here soon.
Sorry, Jack. Everyone's at their Ford dealer's Winston Cup selling event, where they can get $1,000 total cash back on 96 Escort 3-doors.
Cappuccino, anybody?
$1,000 total cash back on Escort could mean no money down. Only at your New England Ford dealer.
Got any 7s? Go fish.
There were a lot of tractors out there, but there's only one. White Outdoor. You see, White only builds quality tractors and mowers. Your White dealer will help you find the perfect one for your needs. Can somebody help me? White dealers even assemble and deliver. Other mowers come with these simple instructions. White Outdoor. Incredible.
Totals for today's game for the Red Sox: 10 runs on 13 hits without an error. They left 7 men on base. Texas had 9 runs on 13 hits and no errors, and they stranded 8. Joe Hudson, the winning pitcher, evening his record at 2-2. It's his 2nd major league win. And Mike Henneman took the loss. Now 0-5 this year, and he has lost his last 10 decisions, as we mentioned, dating back to 1994. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 11 minutes before a crowd of 30,461. So the Red Sox take 3 out of 4 this weekend from Texas, and they complete a very successful week, which saw them win 5 out of 7 against the Rangers and the Chicago White Sox, 2 of the best teams in the American League. And Jerry, the Red Sox have been looking for a little bit of a streak to get them going, and this is one of the very few times this season that we've seen a period of several days in a row in which the Red Sox have had reason to be excited.
Interesting, too, because it's come against much better competition. The Chicago White Sox and Texas Rangers leading their division, and sometimes better competition brings out better play out of your own team. But it all started with better starting pitching. There's no question about that. Today, Vaughn Eshelman did not have a very good outing here. But again, the guys in the bullpen came in, Garces and Joe Hudson, and did a solid job to keep the game in check, to give the offense a chance to come back.
And credit the Red Sox for hanging in there after they got throttled yesterday 13-3. They were down 9-3 today, and it didn't look very positive the way Ken Hill was cruising right along. But then the Red Sox came up with 2 big innings, the 4-run 7th and the 3-run 9th on the home run by Reggie Jefferson. And if you're this Texas team now, you leave here really wondering about the state of your bullpen.
Yeah, as we talked about, they've had some trouble in June, and certainly Mike Henneman with big problems in this series. And you got to wonder, they've got a couple of other guys out there, Jeff Russell, as you mentioned in the game, that maybe could go back into that role. You keep running a guy out there. He's, you hope Henneman's the guy that's going to take you to the promised land. But if he continues to have outings like this, Johnny Ost may have to try some other approach.
Well, it was the big bats in the lineup that did the job for the Red Sox today. Canseco, Vaughn, and Jefferson. Mo Vaughn today 4 for 4. Jose Canseco 4 for 5. And then Reggie Jefferson with the game-winning 3-run homer. His second hit of the ball game. He drove in 4 runs on the afternoon. And that was the difference. The Red Sox come from 9-3 down to win 10-9. On the home run by Reggie Jefferson. Great day for Mo Vaughn. He was 4 for 4 with 2 singles and 2 doubles. He started the 9th inning rally with a single. He also walked. He scored 3 times today. Canseco with 2 singles, a double, and a home run. Scored 3 times and drove in 4. And he had a big hit in the 9th. Once again, the final score of this afternoon's game, the Red Sox 10, the Texas Rangers 9. For Jerry Remy, Sean McDonough saying so long from Fenway. Once again, here's Doug Brown.
All right, Sean and Jerry, thanks very much. A little sheer, unadulterated joy from players and fans at Fenway Park. Quite a bit of it.
Central Maine Motors wants you to get the most out of this summer driving season by saving you thousands on a new car. Make the most out of your summer behind the wheel of this 96 Toyota Corolla at a great price. Or get a great deal on this beautiful 96 Toyota Camry, loaded with options. And drive home this hard-working 96 Toyota Tacoma 4x2. Toyota tough and built to last. So make this the driving season to remember at Central Maine Motors on Kennedy Memorial Drive in Waterville.
While you're out playing, remember to stay away from electric substations. They're always off limits. Never throw stones, climb the fence, or play near the area. If a ball goes inside, leave it and call CMP. We'll come and get it for you.
Be safe. Read up on what's cool and what's not in CMP Smart Power Safety Guide. And remember, there's never a reason to play around a substation, ever.
There were a lot of tractors out there, but there's only one. White Outdoor. You see, White only builds quality tractors and mowers. Your White dealer will help you find the perfect one for your needs. Can somebody help me? White dealers even assemble and Weber. Other mowers come with these simple instructions. White Outdoor. Incredible.
Happy Father's Day from Channel 5. We now join our regularly scheduled program, already in progress.
Well, it had been a perfect night for Mark Kinzer until just a few moments ago. What is all this work going on with your race car?
Well, the front struts for our wing, we noticed a defective weld in it is breaking off, and I had noticed some turbulence on my...
Child like Michelle, call 1-800-423-4300. Operators are standing by. Find out